Hey, hippie chick, cat guy, Skeeter B, what's up, guys? I'm sitting here watching my browser, my new Opera browsers screw up. Hey, Steve Running, let's start the show, guys. You're all here. Yeah.
Prepare yourself.
Hey, everybody. Hello.
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
Line and taker, cashing your chips, you sniveling, wilding, self-loathing hypocrite. Blame it on Rio or the woman in red. Don't fool yourself, it's all in your head. You're the mascot of the next century. Look in the mirrors, count insecurity. I bleed for you, my eyes burn, my point is.
Hey, Oracle, hippie chick, Nick, Tula. Good morning. So good to see all of you.
Fuck you, Michelle Bachman. Fuck you. Lying and dying is you as you read. Bulletin from your mouth. Fuck you, fucking Levi's jeans. Fuck you, fuck you. Straight up your loathsome little dick. Line and taker, cashing your chips. You sniveling, whining, self-loathing hypocrite. Blame it on Rio or the woman in red.
Detroit Dabber. Josh G. What's up, everybody?
It starts with an F.
I never would have guessed that. I'm glad he told us.
Fuck you. 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 Fuck you all motherfuckers. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Chevron. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you all. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Fuck you, Hollywood. Fuck you. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Hello, Trendies! Trendy Day reporting in live from Orlando, Florida. Home Trendy has down all things trendy. You'll find me and you the hashtag Trendies on all forums, sources, and sorts of social media, especially on Rumble. Listen to me. If you're not on Rumble, you're not really supporting the show as well as you could, giving me the free speech that I deserve, that we all deserve. So come to rumble.com/Dave's Garden or download the Rumble app to your phone and come watch this from Rumble. Please. Yes, 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 we are here, we are live, we are doing the show, we're doing it, the show. Let's go like that, let's go like this. Hello, good morning, we got, let's give everybody the props they deserve. Steve Running, Tula Tetro, Detroit Dabber, Zach Nord. Hello, Zach Nord, Dave Campione, hello, David. We have also got in the Rumble sphere, we've got Hippie Chick, Cat Guy 555, Skeeter B, freaking Oracle from Canada, what? Nick the Stick, Josh G, Porta Johns 33, Tropical Thing is here on time, what? Tropical Thing, you're here on time, I don't believe it, what is going on with the world, it's getting crazy. Alright, so hello everybody, and I hope you're doing fantastic. Yeah, I'm just here basically to tell you that it's nice to see a narrative that we've been pushing get picked up by the rest of the world and run with like a gauntlet. You know, it's like a baton, like we passed a baton, you know, and they took it and they ran with it and they exploded it, bro. When I see people saying that people that are out in the street marching for Palestinians, they say that they say that those people are basically Holocaust deniers. I'm like, dude, we're on the right side of this, everybody. We're totally on the right side of this. So, of course, we're not Holocaust deniers here. Of course, the Holocaust happened. It's history. We don't hate the Jews here. We do not hate the Jews. We hate what Israel is doing to the Gazans. We do hate that, and we do want it to stop. And that's it. We don't hate you for being Jewish. We're not anti-Semitic, and we're not Nazis, and we're not Holocaust deniers. What's beautiful about everything I just said is these are literally the things that people that disagree with us are saying about us. So what does that tell me? We're winning, man. We're totally winning. Because anybody that hears that rhetoric is going to be like, wow, you guys have flipped your shit, man. I'm going to go on the other side of the fence. I'm going to go on the other side of the fence now because you guys have flipped your shit. So keep up your psychosis. Keep letting everybody know how crazy and stupid and dumb you are. And keep accusing me of being some kind of a murderous monster, because you know what? You're only making yourselves look really bad, and every bad word you cast in my direction builds me up and makes me look better, because people can come in here and they can hear what I say. They know that I live in a Jewish home. There's mezuzahs on every door here. My mother's Jewish. My father, who's not doing well, he's Jewish. So you don't get to come in here and say that I'm some kind of an evil person for having an opinion, because I will shoot you down so fast. I will shoot you down. I will destroy your narrative so fast. And you know what? The beauty of everything I just said, nobody ever comes in here and argues these points with me. And I'll tell you why. Because in the past, a lot of people used to disagree with me on my stance on Israel. And they'd come in and they call me out on it and shit. Well, all those people now, they come back and they're like, dude, Nate's getting it right. And they want to be my friend again. I want to be your friend too. You're right. I was wrong. I was totally wrong. I'm on the correct side now. I've changed years ago. Hopefully you guys are coming with me. If you're still on the wrong side of this fence and you got the balls and you want to try to talk to me about it, I got plenty of ammunition to throw at you. So bring it, bring it. And I'll explain to you why you're wrong and we're all right and why you're outnumbered now. And the people on the other side of that fence are getting so outnumbered, you're getting surrounded with your own ignorance. And we're all out on the outside of that fence with our arms folded, shaking our heads, just waiting for you to hop over to our side. The side of truth, the side of humanity, the side of being human. Just caring about other people. I don't care whether you have an agreement or disagreement with these people. It doesn't matter. When you can look at something and say, call it what it is, then you're standing in the truth right with me. You're standing in the truth with all of us. And hopefully that's why all of you choose to watch this show. Because no matter how much you hate me, you can't stand some of the things I do or the way I treat people or whatever, when we talk about this one thing, that I'm just nailing it. And we can definitely start from that point and move forward from there. So, welcome to the show. If you're new, I love having you here. If you're not new and you've been coming back for a while, welcome back to the show. Crypto is down right now. It's down really low. If anybody's looking to purchase some, these are the opportunities we want to where we purchase crypto before it goes back up again. So if you're into that and you're looking to purchase, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I did have the price up, but because my background isn't playing properly, if I have too many Opera windows open, it literally, if I have too many Opera windows open, it won't play. That background will stop playing. It starts getting choppy. So I had to close the windows that I use for monitoring crypto. Let me see if I have at least one open still. No, I closed them all, man. Just one. I would just love to see the price of Bitcoin, live on one more. Can I just have one more Opera window open, please? Just one more. I guess, I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes here. I just want to see the price of Bitcoin on screen, Dude, and this Opera goes full screen on me every time I move a window. I don't want it full screen. I don't know why it does that. Okay, here we go. Let's bring this up right here. Okay. Oops. I like to be able to do this so we can see. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. So I can see that the movement when we want to see it. We can see where we're at. 36.7, way down. This would be a time when I would buy right now. I would get $1,000 or I wouldn't even think about it. I'd buy some and give it to you. All right, Tula. Anyone else see what Taryn Manning said a few months back. Wow, what a year this has been. I don't know who Taryn Manning is, and I don't know what they said. I know who Peyton Manning is, I think, a football person, a quarterback. Is that Peyton Manning's wife? Taryn? I don't know. Good morning, Trenny Drewski. Watching from St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. Took your advice, Nay. Jumped on Rumble. Looks much cleaner. Lordy Nordy. Lordy Nordy, did you take my advice? Who are you from YouTube? What was your YouTube name? Lordy Nordy, do you have a Cash App? Do you have the Cash App cash tag? Let me know your Cash App cash tag. I will send you Bitcoin right now for saying what you just said to me. How dare you? Zach? Zach, what's your Cash App cash tag? Cash App cash tag. Stat. Give it to me quick before I change my mind. Zach, what is your Cash App cash tag? Lordy to Nordy. How did I not know that? Hey, you wouldn't happen to know anything about that Nord Stream 2 pipeline explosion, would you, Mr. Nordy? Dude, look at your hair, bro. Look at you. Look at your hair, bro. Look at your hair. You got some hair, bro? Not only do you have hair, you've got $5 fresh worth of Bitcoin in your account as of right 5, 4, 3, 2, meow. Boflow. There you go, bro. There you go. Sent. Done deal. You've got some Bitcoin. Dude, you're getting some Bitcoin. Yeah, and everybody that decides to stab a nice dagger into the back of Facebook or YouTube or Twitch and make the move over to Rumble, when you do, when you come around, let me know so you too can collect your $5 worth of Bitcoin and start getting into crypto. The easy way. I give you some, you start learning about it. 36,771. Where are we going? Where are we going today? Are we going up or down? What are we doing? There's a giant inverse head and shoulders pattern, so we're going up. Well, there's a giant... wait. There's a double top, which I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if a double top's a thing, but I don't think that's good. It's also on a regular head and shoulders pattern. So there's a bunch of regular head and shoulders patterns too. So when that happens, we want to look at the movement. The movement is moving downward slowly, which is great. That downward movement usually results in a spike upwards. Usually. So I just deleted Facebook. It feels good. Oh, I wish I could delete Facebook, man. I would love to delete all of my Facebook. I would love to. I really would. I just got so much work, so much history, so many of my videos then. When are we buying? Wahoo! This would be a great time right now. If you wanted to purchase crypto, if you wanted to get Bitcoin, I would say get it right now because it's down. Bitcoin is way down. My average buy-in on Bitcoin is 37,250. It's at 36,772 right now. So way under my purchase point. You'd be getting in way smarter than when I did. Eve Barlow is insane, lol. I saw that and retweeted. Eve Barlow. Oh, yeah, I know, right? I showed that to my girlfriend this morning. She was like, she looked at me, she shook her head. She was like, oh my God. I was like, I know. I mean, she's talking about me. She's telling me, because I would have been out there with those people. Yeah, so those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, you have no idea what me and Drewski are talking about right now. You should get over to Twitter and read my tweets so you guys can be all caught up. I'm at Nays Garden on Twitter. It's an app. You download it on your phone in the Play Store. It's called Twitter. It might have an X on it, but just ignore that. It's called Twitter. We call it Twitter. Also, follow at Nays Garden once you get there, and then you can see what we're talking about. You'll find out who Eve Barlow is and what she called me. The Twitchosphere. Yes, the Twitchosphere and the Rumblesphere. We've got the Twitchosphere and the Rumblesphere. God, I'm so jealous that you deleted your Facebook. The profile got compromised, but we'll have a private Facebook instead of public figure, not sure when. Okay, right on. Tula put up a video.
So I had to pull over because I'm just like, I don't want to like cause crashes because I'm just so rooted right now. So
I don't think I want to listen to this. I don't know what that is, but I don't want to listen to it. I'm sorry, Tula. You know I love you, but at the same time, that is not appropriate for this show. It's not appropriate for me. I don't know what she was going to say, but after reading the title, I'm like, why are we talking about that? Who is that? Just for messaging. How's your morning? Britt, hello. Good morning. It's going great. Morning's going great. Bitcoin's way down. It's a good time to buy some more. If any of you got a few bucks of Bitcoin and I gave it to you when it was 37.1 and you wanted to buy some more, this would be a time, if you wanted to get some more, this would be the time to get it while it's down in value. It'll cost you less money. You'll end up with more Bitcoin if you get it now than if you wait for the same price, right? She's a famous actress? That's an actress? Ugh. She looked pretty nasty. But, I mean, whatever. I don't understand the subject matter. I don't want to understand the subject matter after reading the title. Yeah, as far as Mondays go, man, we're rocking out a Monday here. Let's do a dab. Rogi's in the bedroom crying. I don't know what's going on back there. She's so co-star with Britney Spears and other famous actresses. Oh, Britney's a psycho too. I mean, they're all psychos. I guess it's that genre, that age, from that age, you know. What do they call those? Millennials? Is she a millennial? Is Britney Spears a millennial? I don't know. She's a gen something. Totally not interested in hearing what she has to say. Totally not interested. Totally not interested. Now, if I remember correctly, do I have to... Did I recharge this or not? We'll find out, I guess. 11x, baby. Let's hope Bitcoin 11x's at least. Yeah, crazy people. I mean, you know, people go crazy. And I feel bad for them, but I just assume not amplify their crazy words, you know? Everybody's losing their shit. I mean, what that woman said on my Twitter feed, holy shit, man. I'm like, really? You guys are going to love that. I mean, if you're not on my Twitter yet to read what that woman said, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if you go to my Twitter and you don't even see it, because Elon sucks my dick so hard that when I post things, they're not even visible to my audience. They're completely shadow banned. So I know this because when I went to my feed as an anonymous person, I could only see 5 of my tweets out of like 1,000. Everything else was hidden. The Zionist lady? Yes, the Zionist lady. I mean, I wouldn't even call her a Zionist as much as I would just call her an annihilist. You know? She's an idiot. An annihilist. Not a nihilist, but an annihilist. She wants to annihilate everybody. I'll sit in my backyard, but I want the Master Nay to show me how it's done. It's just a stick frame, man, with some plastic. Get some nice, thick, good plastic. The plastic is the most important thing, and you're going to want to replace it every couple of years before the sun dries it out. 23 minutes in, we're going to smoke. Or you can get a pre-made, you can get one that's already built. You can get plexi windows. They have ones that come with glass too. There's all different kinds. It just depends on how much you want to spend. If you're looking to save money, I say PVC and plastic is the way to go, man. PVC and stick frame works really good. And just make sure you anchor everything down for wind if you're in a windy area. My Bell's palsy is acting up today, guys, so you're going to hear some of that in my lips as I speak. Sometimes I have like a flare up. All right, no law regarding cannabis, everybody. Cheers to all of you. Tula and Dave Campione and Porta Johns and Cat Guy and Brit. Cheers. Porta Johns, you commented on that tweet? I like that. Thank you. Yeah! What? Chia. 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 Nick's got sketchy service. Dab sweats, humid out. Yes. Do we wish to purchase some cheaper Bitcoin today? No, I think it's going to drop. I'm not going to buy it. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this giant head and shoulders pattern. Oh, man. After another giant head and shoulders pattern. Dude, it's like, oh my goodness gracious, man. I mean, yeah, each head and shoulders pattern is followed by an inverse head and shoulders pattern. But it's fighting, and it's working its way down. Can I assume that they're negating each other? And that downward movement is a bullish marker. Slow downward movement straight up leads to a spike up. Slow upwards movement leads to a spike down. It's almost that simple. Think about it this way. When we talk about inverse head and shoulders, the price always goes up. They're pointing down. When we're talking about regular head and shoulders, the price goes down. They point up. Right? It's opposite effect. Watch it over the 24 hours. That'll give you a really good idea of where it's headed. What do I think it's going to do? I think at some point it's going to spike upwards. Do I think that this would be a good time to buy? Yes, I really, really do. I want to know if anybody in my audience is going to purchase Bitcoin today at this lowered rate. Even if you're going to get like $5 worth. You going to throw good money after bad? Who's going to throw good money after bad with me? So we just put money in and we watch the value drop. That makes it bad money. Who's going to put good money in after bad now? Let me know in the chat. You got a couple buck? You just bought $2 worth? Dave Campione, did you just buy $2 worth of Bitcoin at 36,749? They'll probably hit me at 36.9 if I try to buy it right now. Fuckers. I hate them so much. Dude. How good am I? 36.9. It's $28 off. How good am I? Huh? They're going to hit me. I said they're going to hit me at 36.9. Yup. Dude, do you think I want to buy crypto at 36.9 when I'm looking at it at 36.7? These guys are such assholes, man. They're so greedy. This was not like this a month ago. This all just started. You all need to keep your eyes open. When I told you to buy crypto, if you had the money, you should have bought it when I told you to buy it, man. We are totally getting screwed now. And nobody's talking about the upped rates. I'm the only one talking about it. No one wants to discuss it. I haven't heard a peep out of anybody to warn you guys that this is what's going on with the markets right now. Buyer beware, man. I told you to get it when I told you to get it. When it was at 17,000, I was begging you guys to buy $17,000 Bitcoin. I'm like, I'm going to buy a whole Bitcoin. I'm going to spend $17,000. If ever you were going to buy $100 of it, that would have been the time to do it. I have every reason right now to be a little aggravated. As I ask my audience if anybody's, getting into this or whatever, and it's all just silence. Okay, good luck on the new job, Porter Johns. Don't trip by the dip. Too late. Tropical Thing says, that's bullshit. The rates of what? Okay, Dave, this is how it works. We see the price of Bitcoin right now is 36,746, but when you go on Cash App and you go to buy some, all of a sudden it's $36,924 to get the same Bitcoin. They jacked the price up almost $200 over what we all know the price is. And it's consistent. It's not like a glitch. It's consistent. This happened. If you guys followed me on Twitter, you would have been warned about this. Because I put a tweet up about this days ago. Talked about it on the show. And if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I can't help you. Right, Porter John? Right, Tropical Thing? That's why you guys have to be vigilant. You have to be your own advocates. You have to look out for yourselves. Stay aware of what these rates are when you're buying this. And you know what? When one of you goes to Bybit or Bitflex, which none of you have done yet, and finds out what the rate is over there, let me know, please. You were charged 22 cents when you bought $10 worth? I mean, you should have been happy buying Bitcoin at 17,000. And if Bitcoin goes up to 100,000, you should be happy buying Bitcoin at 36.7. Right? That's even more. You'd be making even more money on that jump than you would from the 17 to the 36. It's more than double. It's triple. Right? The 17 to 36 was just a double. 36 to 100,000, that's almost triple. So whether you wanted to buy the $100 then or you buy it right now, when this goes to 100,000, boom, if that's what you're thinking, if you think it's going to go to 100,000, do you think Bitcoin could go to 100,000? Bitcoin has proved a lot of people wrong in the industry. There's a lot of people who said this was never going to happen again. A lot of people are being made to look real stupid right now. In fact, people should be mining up all of their statements from a year ago, 2 years ago. Oh, the market's crashed. Bitcoin's good for nothing. It's not worth anything. You need to buy gold if you want to make money. I'm putting all my money in gold. Oh, yeah, don't buy Bitcoin. It's not going to do anything. Meanwhile, all of our money's doubled. How'd that gold do for you? Our money's literally doubled since then. But now with their spread, I don't know. No, dude, I'm begging somebody to tell me what the rate is for Bitcoin on Bitflex or Bybit. I just can't wait for one of you to just download the app and open an account. Use Carl the Moon's code and get an Apple Watch or some shit like that. Here goes Bitcoin, 36.8. Dude, I wonder if this thing is quoting 37 yet. Dude. You guys. I'm good, aren't I? Yeah, if I tried to buy from there, it'd cost 37. They'd get me at 37,000. When we all see it's down almost $200 below that. It enrages me, man. It enrages me, and it doesn't matter how much you buy. I tried. I adjusted the price just to see if that goes up and down. It didn't seem to change at all. That's where they jack you. And you would forget to look at that if you hadn't been watching the show, learning about purchasing crypto. And sometimes a camera just can't focus. I don't know why that is such a problem sometimes. I don't know. Let's see my face, the color of my face or something. It's reflecting the light. Did I tell you Bitcoin was going to go up because it's been slowly going down? You want me to look at the last Head and Shoulders? The last Head and Shoulders pattern was this one right here. Here's the head, right? You go all the way up to here. That's the shoulder. Well, that's the where it started, right? It's not the shoulder, but. So this is at 37. This is at. Oh my Jesus Christ. It's $600 from here, guys. It's going to go up $600. So 37,400, guys. That's my prediction. I was $100 off yesterday. My prediction is we're going up to $37,400. And it's going to it's happening right now. I mean, this is bullshit. Unless they know something I don't know. Now, if you went to my Twitter, were you able to see the posts that we're talking about on Twitter? Those of you who went to my Twitter when I told you to go to my Twitter, I was like, go check out my Twitter, go read my Twitter, go see what this lady said, blah, blah, blah. When you went there, were you able to see that post on my Twitter? Cash App CEO. Bro, after these rates, yeah, I could believe someone shot the Cash App CEO. Totally. I have no problem believing that. Lordy Nordy, it was their tropical thing, yes. That's easy. What's a head and shoulders pattern? A head and shoulders pattern is a retest of prices, right? And the way it works is, if we just pull up a head and shoulders pattern here and I'll show it to you. The way it works is, people are buying and selling, right? And as people get to a certain, so let's say this up here is your head, okay? And let's say this is a shoulder here, and you could say this down here is a shoulder here. So you got shoulder, head, shoulder, right? So what happened was the price went up because people were buying it at a certain rate. And as soon as it got to this point right here, more people started selling than buying. So the price dropped. When it got down to here, more people started buying than selling. And it went all the way up to the head. These are testing these levels of value, right? It gets all the way up to this head right here. And all of a sudden, there's a giant sell-off. And a whole bunch of people start selling off their crypto at this point. They like that number, 37.37. You know, 37.376. People are like, I'm selling it. If it gets up to 37.376, a whole bunch of people were like, I'm selling. Or one giant corporation decided to sell off a whole bunch of crypto at that point too. But it's usually a whole bunch of sales going on, right? And it just happens at this time. People are expecting it to happen, and it kind of self-fulfills. What happens is it gets down all the way to here, and it gets all the way to here, right down to here. And people are like, dude, I think it's going to go up again. I'm going to buy more. So more people start buying than selling. The price goes up. Then at that point, people decide to start selling off. At this point, they've tested this value and they sell, and a whole bunch of people sell because it's the end of an upright head and shoulders pattern, and everybody can see it. It's right there on the chart. So people are like, dude, it's about to drop. So everybody sells, and we make it happen. The people selling off their crypto make it drop. So it's not magic, it's just human nature. These patterns are just a representation of human nature, and it just works like that. So that's what, it's a good question, man. That's what the Head and Shoulders represents, is a low point of resistance, a high point of resistance, and then a retest of the first point of resistance. And those can vary, which is fine. As long as they're both below the head, these 2 points can vary. You want to look previously and see if there's corresponding points of resistance at that exact same place, so you get an idea where they might reside before they hit. But you can see it in the chart. You can see those points of resistance in the chart. I mean, this one specifically. Through here. This is right in between both of those shoulders. This whole point of resistance here. All the way down to here even. Because look, if you go across, it was below there. And once it dropped under these points of resistance over here, people started buying. Because they recognized. So what happened right now is we had a big Head and Shoulders, and people saw it, but it got followed by an inverse Head and Shoulders pattern. And the last pattern is what dictates the movement. That's what we've learned. The other thing that dictates the movement, there's 2 other things. There's the trend. Which way is it trending? Is it trending upwards or is it trending downwards? There's that. And then there's the pattern that it's establishing that you see forming, and people play into it. People like me play into it. So if you're buying from someone like Cash App at this point and they're charging you $200 above the price of what Bitcoin really is at that moment, you've got to figure in, you got jacked, $20 or whatever, however much you bought, and add that to what you think the cost of your fee was, or whenever you enter it into software, it will calculate that for you because you're putting in the price that you paid, not the price that it was. It's the price that they charged you at, which is, these unscrupulous bastards. So my prediction is $37,400 for today. And that could be within the next, it could be in the next few minutes. It could be in the next 12 to 24 hours. It just depends. But the movement, I believe it's already trying to break out of this. It's in a falling wedge pattern, and I believe it's trying to break out above it right now. It's got resistance to hit at 37,000. So it should run up pretty quick right now. It already is. We were at 36.7 before, right? So now we're at 36.830. It's moving up slightly. We're getting a good bounce. And this is an inverse Head and Shoulders pattern that we're playing off of, including a falling wedge pattern. A slow falling wedge pattern over the last 12 hours. Does this frighten you? Do any of you get scared of Bitcoin? When you see me in here predicting where it's going to go, and you don't understand why it's doing it, and you're scared because you don't know, you just can't figure out how the fuck I can do this. Are any of you guys scared to get into this market? Like, let me hear from people who are sitting on a bunch of money sitting in the bank. Whether you got $100 or thousands of dollars sitting in the bank, you got some money sitting in the bank, and you could put it in crypto because you're not going to use it. It's just sitting. It's money you don't need. You're getting paid other ways, whatever. You got some money sitting somewhere, but you're just going to decide to not do this because you're scared that you're going to lose all your money. Let me hear from you guys. You're like, dude, I've been watching you do this for 2 years. I've watched you get ripped off. I've watched you lose money. I've watched you make money. At the same time, it's not for me. I'm sure there's got to be some of you out there who have some money sitting around that don't want to do this. Let me hear from you. I'm just kind of curious to get that perspective. I don't mind taking all these risks for you guys. Because the way I see it, the people who could really benefit from this are the people who need money to survive. You know? Because you might not have a lot of it. It's a learning opportunity and you're giving us the tools we need to invest. Of course, Porter John says, well said. Thank you. I hope so. You know, I want you guys to be able to look at these markets and understand we're on a 24-hour chart, a line chart, right? You can do this anywhere on any crypto. And we're reading what Bitcoin generally does, what we've seen it do, because we're watching it. We're keeping our eye on it. We're learning how it moves and how it breathes. Some special, super special. Oh, you going somewhere else? Okay. Cool. I could tell something was going down, but it's all taken care of. So it has not broken out above this channel yet. It's staying within the... Actually, it's backing back down inside the channel. So, as soon as it breaks out above the channel... I mean, these are really easy to see. They're just straight line. You just draw them with your brain. You can just see them, you know? This is an easy one, guys. Look. This one just goes... right? You see that line there, right? You guys see that line. You can draw that line with your mind, right? It's pretty simple, right? And then you come down here and you draw another line. You go all the way from back here and go, right? So you got these, that's a channel. And you see that channel and you see, because this one's taller, so it's a wedge pattern. Now, what's it doing? It's closing, and as it closes, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. It becomes unsustainable to the point that it has to break out upwards or downwards. Right? It's an unsustainable pattern. It can't do that forever. So it's either going to break out upwards or downwards. What's it doing right now? Well, at 876, you want to break out above this channel. When it hits 900, it's above the channel. And that's a breakout. Once it breaks out, it moves up. Here we go. You guys want to see it happen? See it breaking the line? You should all be able to see a line right here with your mind. You should be able to see just a line. And it's just right, the line is right about where that dot is. It's just about lined up perfectly. And we are just about to break above that line. It is so close. So this is, and you'll see, it's hesitating here because that is the point of resistance. When it hits 880, it's like selling off. Too many people are selling. Too many people are selling. Too many people are selling. When more people start buying at 880, we're going to break through. Then that are selling off. That's all that is, man. 887. Look at this. 888. 890. It's just got to go up $10 more, man. And that will be a clear breakout. We can zoom in on that and you'll really be able to see as it breaks out above this line Remember, the line's coming in like this. It is coming in like this. And it is just underneath this thing. I mean, if you were to draw a perfectly straight line across all of these, it'll give you just right there. It is right at resistance point. As soon as that hits 36.9, man, we're going to take a look and see what it looks like. We just formed a double bottom. It was a quick, ugly double bottom, but it's a double bottom. We're looking really good. So you guys want to see the double bottom? It's pretty obvious. It looks like a W. Boom, boom. Double bottom. Results in a move upwards usually. Also a perfect, not perfect, but a really good inverse head and shoulders pattern. And we just got to move up $10. So this is the resistance point. You'll see it vary just by a couple dollars. As it breaks through, it'll move. It's probably 891.78 is probably the point of resistance. There it goes. It's through. There it goes. It's probably just going to go right up now. Look, 891.78 again. Look, 97.30. 95. It moved through. It just got through that one spot. So you want us to watch it break out above. Here we go. Watch it break out above our line here. There it goes. And you can see it going, and now it's freely moving, guys. You can see it's just freely moving because it's broken through. And that's what happens. That's how resistance works. And that's how the movement works. You'll see that. It's like a dance. Now, did I buy? Did I make a purchase? Because I saw it was down and I knew it was going to go up. And I told you guys it's going to go up to 37,000. As I said, it's going to go up to 37,400. So, but I told you I was going to get jacked at 37. So I would have had to make a decision that, hey, do I want to make $50 overall, because that's all I'll make probably. Is that how I want, or would I rather my money just sit in the bank right now and not make anything at all? There's even an app people could use. It's a simulator that uses real-time data. They give you $10,000 space cash. No risk. It's called Crypto Sim. Oh, that would suck if you hit it big on that, and then you just be like, oh my god, dude, what did I do with this fake? I shouldn't. It's like people that grow cannabis on a game on Facebook. And you're like, really, dude? You spend time growing cannabis in a fake farm on Facebook? So you can feel like you're growing cannabis? Really? You spend time doing that? Watering? Really? God, dude. Oh my god. Dude, we had a massive rejection at 9:10. Massive rejection. Huge buy off. Or I should say sell off. Is the volume coming up? Yeah, the volume's coming up. You're right, bro. You can see it at the bottom of the screen there, guys. See those gray bars? The very bottom right of the screen? Those are your volume bars. That's good. Enter the dragon, man. Let's see what happens. These are exciting times. when Bitcoin ran up past 60,000 and we were buying it, I learned a lesson, John Doe. Yeah. I'll be buying $68,000 Bitcoin, I bet. Because people be saying, yeah, it's going to $1 million. I'll be like, I'm buying more. I'm totally buying more. So we have fallen back into our channel. We got rejected hard. Hard rejection. Pushed back. Just not ready yet. Not ready to make its money move. But with these beautiful patterns forming, man, I don't see it going anywhere else. Unless I'm missing something, but I don't think I'm missing anything. Unless I don't know, man. That was a giant head and shoulders pattern in the middle. I just don't know how to read how they cancel each other out or not. We'll know, I guess, if this goes up. If it goes down, probably off that giant head and shoulders in the center of the at the 12-hour mark. 12 hours ago, there was a huge head and shoulders. 13 hours ago. 14 hours ago, something like that. Brian Stelter reacts to Trump's rhetoric on Veterans Day. Like, does anybody care about his shit talking? Yeah, he talks shit. He doesn't like... I don't like veterans who get captured. I like the ones that don't get captured. Whatever, dude. We know how you feel. What's your favorite Bible verse? I like them all. I think the whole book, is a great work of art unto itself. It shouldn't be taken in pieces. It should be taken as a whole. Who thinks Bitcoin's going to hit 37,000 right now? Drewski does? Go Drewski. I'm with you, buddy. Hodl gang. Hodl gang. I wonder how Harmony's doing right now. Harmony is at 154. Okay. Matic is at 89 cents. Ethereum's at $2,109. Cardano's at 37 cents. Pepe is up 8%. Or no, I don't know where Pepe is. I'm sorry, I don't know where Pepe is. don't have Pepe on here. I don't think I'm tracking Pepe. 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 That's interesting that I never added it. Maybe I couldn't add it before or something. I don't know. But I think Pepe's actually doing good. Oh boy. We're trying to make another run at the top of the channel again. Dude's at my front door. Okay. He dropped off boxes, I think. I'll be right back. Crazy. Crazy. Crazy town.
Top of the morning to you.
Hey, bro, what's up?
I've seen how long it was going to take you to notice me, so I said something. I was like this.
How long have you been here for?
Like 2 minutes, maybe.
Oh, so I wasn't here when you got here?
No, it was an empty chair.
That's funny. You walked in right. I mean, I just got up to check the door. That's so funny.
Good morning.
Good
morning,
morning.
everybody. I see Bitcoin's just dancing around 37 for freaking 3 days now. 2 days now.
Dude, we're breaking up out of a channel right now. I was just telling everybody about it. And
Yeah.
that now you guys can see it's breaking out above the channel. So that's exciting, right? You guys can all see it now. You can see this is the prediction I just made. I told them it's going up to 37.4. I asked them, I was like, do you think I bought any? I'm asking, no one will answer me. I'm like, do you guys think I bought any? You know, if I bought it, it would be at 37.
Yeah.
They charged me at 37,000, bro. Do you think I
What?
bought? Yeah. So do you think I would have bought any at 37? I mean, you know, because look, it's at 36.9. It's
man.
under. It's still under the value of where I bought it. You know, where I would have bought it. Well, I think you bought
What?
that 1,000 worth. Oh, you think I bought $1,000 worth, Drewski? Anybody else? Drewski
Hold on,
says.
let me go to the Rumble.
Drewski bought $10. When I said it, he bought $10 worth.
Uh-huh.
It's at 940. I'd still be, bro, if I had bought it, it's still underwater. Still 30, it's not even 37.
So why aren't you buying like when it's under 37? Or
They're
are
charging me, I'm trying to, but they're charging me $200 over the current value
Oh wow.
on that
And
specific.
now let me ask you, like if they're using Ether, right? If they're using ETH to fucking for gas transfers or whatever, what how, can't you use your own ETH, right? You're using your own ETH, right? But you just gotta wait for the price to go down for you to be able to make the.
Yeah, don't use ETH, dude. ETH is super expensive. Just don't use Ethereum. I wouldn't even use that fucking.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a scam. Polygon Matic, way better, bro. Way cheaper.
Yeah.
Harmony, super cheap. Yeah, you have to look at that. And there's some Ethereum transactions that are cheap, but so make sure you always just look and read before you hit send. Read all the fine print. Read what they're charging you. Because it'll say, bro, say you want to send me $50 of Ethereum, they'll charge you $100 of Ethereum to send me $50 of Ethereum. So you got to watch that shit. They will literally pull shit like that.
Wow.
Yes. So just
Yeah, I remember on MetaMask. Remember when we did the world's
the Ethereum.
first,
Yes. Yes. Transaction. Yes, that was
world's
great.
first- Yep, damn right. We did that shit.
That's
dog.
right,
We
son.
did that shit.
Hey, bro. We did that shit live.
Yeah, we broke barriers that day, man.
So, Drewski says, I think it's going to 38. Well, I tell you right now, it's going to 36.4. I mean, 37.4. But it's broken out of the channel. I told everybody it's going to, once it breaks out of the channel, it goes. But what I want to know is from anybody else is if you thought I purchased some or not, knowing that I'd still be underwater. And Drewski said, I think you bought $1,000 worth. Anybody else? Anybody else want to guess whether I did or
under a
didn't?
band. You probably bought under a band's worth. 900 or something.
Anybody want to guess what I did? Or do you think I was like, dude, I'm not going to purchase it because fucking it's not even at 37. They're charging me at 37. Why the fuck should I want to buy this? And it's going to be 37. It's not even going to be 37 until it hits 37. And I'm just completely... Oh, Hippie Chick says, yeah, I think you bought. Tropical's like, yeah, of course. 11 or 12,000. Cat Guy says 11 or 12,000. I'm going to say you haven't bought yet. Slightly regretted it. You're gonna. Josh is saying he didn't get anything, and now he's sitting there going, "Dude, it's almost at 37,000, and this is right where I would have been breaking even at."
Yeah.
962, but it's just gonna drop. It's not gonna hit that. It's gonna just drop. It's gonna all fall out. I'm waiting for it. It's all just gonna drop right now. $966. What is that? What is 965, dude? We were at 36.7 this morning. And I'm like, I said to everybody, do you want me to look at it and tell you what I think it's going to do? I'm like, all right. I start looking at it. I'm like, oh my God, there's a giant regular head and shoulders pattern. I was like, but every head and shoulders pattern got negated by an inverse head and shoulders. 994, 37,000. Wow. Somebody just broke even on its $2,500 Bitcoin purchase.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean, when freaking Cat Guy said 11 or 12, I'm like, dude, who do you think I am? Freaking hey, dude. I don't roll like that, but I'm just like, it could sit in the bank and do nothing for me, or it could just have made me some money, you know? So we broke 37, but I'm telling you it's going to go up to 37.4. So the question is,
He said I made that little, little 2,500.
37. There's the price they got me at. $37.19. 0.0666 Bitcoin. 2468. 666, son. Because that's how we do it up in the garden. All satanic and shit. We're getting all satanic up in here. All hail Satan. Dude, why is this? Why are you doing this to me? Focus. Daniel-san, focus. There we go. Are you focusing? Focus on my face.
Lean back in the chair. Lean back in the chair.
Good idea. Good idea. I'll act like a big eyeball. Dude, focus. Focus, man. Focus like back here, bro. Focus. I gotta hit this dab. No longer regarding cannabis. Cheers, Pinoy. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Damn, I didn't know you were dabbing.
Yeah.
I'm right behind you. Oh yeah, brother.
And the fee they got me at was $31.38. So really around $37,050 I'll be breaking even on it. And Pinoy, the reason I knew this was going to happen. Can you look at the screen?
Yes.
Right here. If you follow my arrow right here, there's a line that's being made
Right.
from all of this resistance. It's like barrel, 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 barrel,
Right.
barrel. And I had my mouse way down here, and I said to everybody, as soon as we get up to right here, we're going to break out above. This is a channel. And I said, we're going to break out of this channel, and we're going to go up. There were a bunch of indicators. There were the other patterns I like to talk about, double bottoms, and head and shoulders, and all that shit was going on at the same time. So there were, and plus the movement of the market and all of that. So
Right.
Anybody that watches this show consistently, you guys are starting to get it, and you're going to be able to do this on your own soon enough. Just keep tuning in, keep paying attention, man. Who's got the highest fees? Cat Guy, here's what you do. Go to each one of your, this is what I do. Go to each one of your exchanges, try to buy $100. Go all the way through the exchange until you get to the OK, and read all the information and see what they each do. Write it down and see what they charge you, and then cancel out the, dude, I cancel out purchases all the time just so I can see what they're going to charge me. I use it all the time. It's there for free. You could try to do a purchase all the way up to the OK.
When I was buying crypto, I was buying it. Remember, I was buying it from Robinhood and a couple other sites. I found that when I bought stuff off of through the MetaMask, they're like MetaMask has this way of being able to buy crypto through it, and then it goes to your wallet, whatever. MetaMask had the highest fees. It was like literally double what Robinhood and Cash App were, bro. Like literally.
Yeah,
But
I wonder how much it is to buy Bitcoin on Robinhood.
Yeah, shit, I got Robinhood too.
Not enough buying power. I can't do a fake transaction until I have enough money in my account, which I don't want to put money into Robinhood because they held on to my money, bro. They fucked me. Oh my god. They want me to deposit funds. Just to
They were
find
pretty decent about giving me my money. It took a couple days though.
I'm gonna just
When
try
I bought
20.
out, it took a couple days before it actually hit my account. You know what I'm saying? When I sold the rest of my crypto or whatever.
37. No, they're jacking it up. $100 over the value. Exactly $100. $97,100. That's what they're charging on Robinhood for $20 worth.
That's wild.
Yeah, because I did have $20 sitting in the account. Do I have any Bitcoin over there? I've got $17 of Bitcoin sitting on Robinhood. I've got $820 of Tesla sitting on Robinhood. And I got $220 of Shopify, hippie chick. Shopify. I got XRT, $375 worth of XRT.
Now, did you invest into like some people invested in a Disney and Home Depot and shit like
Stocks?
that. Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, you know who I invested in, bro? You know, I found out I got this article about us running out of water. You know, our water supply is running low. That's evidenced by there's already cities that have shut down. People have to desert them because there's no more water. Trucks are hauling water in. You know,
Right.
New Mexico, Arizona, there's cities in California. It's happening all over. So, there's banks, giant banks, that are buying up all the land that has aquifers underneath them. So I invested in those banks, the water banks. Like all the biggest banks, dude, they're all in on it. They all know. Everyone knows. You know, everyone
Right.
that's into the financial markets, they all know what's going on with the water shortage. So, yeah, these banks have bought up all this land, and dude, I was looking at that actually. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I guess the stock market, you know, has gotten really good, and my stocks were doing rather good. So, I've got a traditional IRA, and
What
I've
does
got
IRA mean?
I don't know what it means.
And you'll look that up.
Investment something account? I don't know. So these are the stocks that I hold. BCS, BX, C, Coin, DB, GS, HSBC, JPM, NCV,
Oh,
PayPal, SDGR, and UBS. Those are all the biggest banks. And, you know, a little PayPal and a little bit of Coinbase, which I got screwed over on the Coinbase. And I'm
individual retirement account, IRA.
individual retirement account?
Yeah.
Huh.
Look, hippie chick said it too, right there in the bottom.
Last price, days gain, total gain. So I'm way underwater on my Coinbase. It's BX, I'm plus $500. My HSBC, I'm plus $251. Everything else, I'm negative. PayPal especially. PayPal and frickin' Coinbase, negative. So my overall total gain on my stocks is negative $5,381. That's how much I'm undervalued right now. Right now in stocks, I hold $12,374 worth. Total assets.
Yeah, I think my dad is still invested in Home Depot.
So we got rejected. This is a big rejection. 36,944. We've got to build to move up, people. Where's my volume at?
There was this,
945. 945 is
last year I was following this other crypto guy. I don't follow him no more because he was just saying a bunch of nonsense last time I seen him. But I was following this dude, and was it XRP? Everybody was waiting on
the SEC.
yeah, the lawsuit,
yes,
and all that stuff.
And they won.
Okay.
They won it.
Wow. So everybody that held on to their XRP when it was like,
it bumped for a little bit, and then it kind of sunk a little bit. But I think,
right, okay.
yeah, people were able to really cash in on that, I believe. I don't know how much it went up. 935. We've got some support coming up here. Hopefully, let's not fall through it. At 900, there should be good support.
what are the signs that you see that signals that you know it's going to be a serious push and it's going to, it's going to go up? What are the signs on the chart that you're looking
I'm looking at a falling pattern that's nice and even, like making a channel going downward slowly. Yes.
Right. Okay.
That usually results in a spike upwards. And I'm also looking for the inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a head pointed downwards and two shoulders on both sides pointed downwards. And if you see two of those in a row, that makes a double bottom. We've got all of that going on right now. We've got all of that.
That's a good ass idea, bro. Why haven't you made your own coin yet? Like the trendy coin.
I don't know. Just, my girlfriend and I literally just watched a video about how to make your own coin. It was interesting. It was an interesting video on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube how to make your own cryptocurrency. It's free.
Coin.
It's free.
That'd be sick.
It's free. You just got to sit there and do all the coding. It's all copying and pasting. This guy tells you exactly what to copy and paste. He's like, come up with a name, do this, do that, assign how many coins you want to mint. He's like, the only thing is you got to get it up on an exchange. You got what the hell? You got to get it up on an exchange. You got to get it up on an exchange.
Well, I'm sure it's a lot of work making your own coin, because my buddies that made their own coins, they have like all these different apps for people to fucking check up on it. There's like all kinds of shit. It's like a big project, literally. Right. The hell? Wasn't enough juice. Yeah, dude, gas is getting cheaper, bro. I buy premium gas only for my car because it won't take anything else, and it was 5.10 in some spots, which is fucking crazy over here, dude. Usually it's like $6, 5.50. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's definitely gone down, brother.
Who's coming? She's out there. Yes. Okay, man. All right. Well, all right. What's going on with the Bitcoin 36,920? Okay, it dropped. That's cool. We're cool. We're good. It's cool. It's cool. We're cool. It's cool. Everything's good, man. Everything's good. You know why? It's not a free fall. It's retaining its position right here. And I told you there's resistance, there's support at 900. So we're looking really good at 935, man. It could bounce around.
By resistance, you mean it slows down around 900.
Bro, and I'll show you why. You see it in the chart as you look right here. So 900 is 36. Okay, 36,950. Here's 36,9. There's 37. Right, this
Cheers,
whole
guys. Cheers, everybody.
this whole area right here, where my mouse is previous points of support. Right, you just put your mouse right there and you can see. So if it goes underneath, which it is doing right now, actually, we don't want it to go under 900. It's falling underneath it. So our next line of support is way down here at it's 900. 900, man. This is it. This is it. This is make it or break it right here, man. If we go under 900, we could drop big time. So that's what happened in the previous 24 hours. Someone needs to get on Bybit or Bitflex or both. We all need to do that. All of us should be on there.
What is it?
Bybit or Bitflex.
Bitflex.
They're trading platforms on the internet. I think they're apps too.
Oh, cheers, guys.
Cheers. Carl the Moon has a code that you win something like an Apple Watch or something if you use his code. If you go to Carl the Moon's YouTube channel, go to any one of his videos, it'll be at the bottom of his video in the description of his code for Bitflex or Bybit. You can use it for both. We're getting a great bounce here, guys. A fantastic, beautiful, wonderful bounce, which is exactly what we needed. So what that means is we've got activity at this level. So it could build from here. We might end up with a nice pennant, and if the pennant forms downwards, then it'll shoot upwards. So it's okay if it works down from this. We've already got the flagpole. The flagpole's basically up, and now we see the beginnings of a pennant forming. So It's okay if it drops from here. It goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, and then boom, shoots upwards again. So it's basically just drawn. Just imagine it scribbling in a pennant, a flag, right? But a triangular shaped flag, right? And the one that goes downwards are the ones we like. If it's going upwards, if it's a pennant going upwards, that will result in a drop. It's like that with almost every pattern. If it's trending upwards, it drops. If it's trending downwards, it goes up when it breaks out. Generally, you have to look at all the other indicators while you're looking at that on the 24-hour charts, which is all I'm looking at. Everyone always told me, Nate, don't look at the 24-hour charts. It's the wrong chart. You're in the wrong thing. Don't be looking at that. You're in the 1 minute. You're in the 1 minute. You're in the 24-hour. Blah blah. I'm like, it's where I'm most comfortable. It's where I'm most comfortable. 1 minute and 24-hour. I like 1 minute candles. I understand them. I understand the wicks.
Do you explain it, bro? This is why your people watching is gonna start getting bigger and bigger, because I've watched a bunch of different guys that talk about the signs and the little fucking squiggly lines, the candle tops or whatever, the candle wicks, whatever. You explain it in a way that most people can understand. A lot of dudes that make these videos are straight nerds. I mean, I'm no offense. They're straight nerds, and like they speak in a language that a lot of the population don't speak. You know, it's like very, very big words and all that stuff. You actually explain it to where I can understand you. You know, versus me trying to like look up what the hell you're talking about, you know, to understand what you're really saying. You're actually like explaining it to where, all right, I can pick my phone up and actually do a purchase and feel confident with it from the information that you've given me.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people, bro, all you guys out there, you can see what I'm talking about. Go watch those other dudes that be explaining like the signs and all that shit, and it's just like we're not even speaking English.
Big drop.
Well, at least for me it is.
Big drop. Big bear. Big bear.
Big bear.
Big bear.
Big bear.
We don't want a big bear. Oh my goodness. Whoa.
Oh, big bear.
Oh, big bear. This is a nail biter, bro, because I said it's going to 37.4.
It is. It's only been climbing. I mean, it has its little dips that scare the shit out of people, but
This was hopefully a fake out. It wasn't a free fall, luckily, but it's just like some previous movement.
Nah, it's looking good. It's been in the red for a minute, man. It can only go up from here.
Where's my whales at? Let's get whaley. Get in here with your big wallets. Oh
Man, dude, all that stuff with Trump right now, dude, there's rappers making I'm a vote for Trump. I'm a vote for Trump song and shit.
That's
dude,
funny.
I was like, okay.
Oh god. They've got when Trump went into the prison, he had those people in prison for the January 6th do a song.
Yeah.
Oh god. Capper, what's up? 90. No! I'm waiting for my big buy-in. Come on, folks. Hopefully that volume is still pumping down there. Oh, it is. Wow. I mean, these volume markers are so smooth. It's like I don't know if that's volume or not. It doesn't seem like they're volume markers. Tax people on crypto. Oh, anything you make a gain on, you got to pay tax on. It's a crazy tax too, man. Crazy. They clown crypto and they fuck with it, but they'll take so much money from you for making it, you know? That they don't seem to have a problem with. Fuckers. That's the currency of drug dealers and terrorists. Only terrorists use crypto. I hate to say it, but this giant head and shoulders pattern just formed on the 24-hour. I'd like to ignore it, but it's there. Rogan. Hey, bees. What's up, bees?
You make me coffee, baby. What is it? Is it just gonna be milk and sugar? Oh, that's... Can you just put honey in it instead of the sugar? Honey's better for you anyway. Teriyaki.
Well, no, you're confusing taxing with a fee that a company's charging you for using your service. Those are two completely different things. When that company charges you, they do pay a tax on that to the government. So
Oh, the government always wins.
they're paying tax, and then when you pull your value out of crypto and put it in the bank, you pay a tax on that too.
Absolutely, the government has to have a cut of everything. The government. Yeah, but it's not really a tax, dude. You guys are paying for a service that these people are providing for you. A tax is like you get paid, and then that shit comes out your check for the government, and you're not using no service or anything. Well, you know, you're just getting taxed to fucking help build roads and whatever the hell they use the tax money for. Star Wars. Hmm. thing. I'll grab it right now. You need it right now? Okay. I will grab it. I was using it to paint. Hold on one second. All right. I'm going right now.
It's like a text for me using her service.
Dude, that shit came out nice, babe. Yeah. Once we get that the rest of that trim done, it's gonna look gorgeous. Gorgeous. Honey, like one scoop, one good scoop. I'm from outer space. I got my. Let me see a spoon. I wrote that song. Maximilian. Down. Down. Babe, come here, look at this. Look at Frank. When I said down, look at him. What is this? Damn. Eat wild mountain honey for health. Unblended, unfiltered, on everything. What is that, baby? You making a smoothie? That's fine. Oh yeah.
It looks like a freaking pennant. It kind of looks like one. A falling pennant, which would be beautiful. It's what I kind of expected. It didn't test the highs, though, as much. I think it's going to do it. Well, yeah, I mean, who's ever hosting the service? I mean, even when you use a credit card out at stores, there's a fee. The credit card company, charges a fee for every transaction. That's just expected, you know? It's funny. It's like Bitcoin's drawing out a big middle finger, like a big fuck you. It's like, fuck you. We're back in the damn channel. For the most part. Depending on where you take the top from. Dude. Come on, man. Why you used to be building like that, man? What's going on? Oh, dude. 36,800. Trigger some freaking purchases, baby. For the love of Pete of St. Whateversburg. For the sake of Pete, for the peak of Saint, for the Pete of sake, for the sake of Pete. This is massive failure on my part. Failure. Fail. Look at this drop. Oh my god. 785. Ooh. Hellflow. Didn't see this coming. Oh my goodness gracious. It's the agony of defeat. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. The agony of defeat. This is how it goes. Coming to you live from the Madison Square Garden home of champions, where you will see beyond the sport. You will learn beyond the schooling and hard work and education and dedication put in by each and every one involved in making this sport into what it is. A sport of sportsmen, sportsmen of sports, here to see what the greatest sport on earth could possibly be. In the apple of the eye of New York City, Madison Square Garden, home of this sport, this sporty sport. Dude, this crypto though, son. What the hell? How much lower is it going to drop, Dave? Dude, I hope there's not going to be some kind of an announcement or panic sell-off right now. This is a hell of a drop. It doesn't even look normal. Looks like the Empire State Building.
Yeah, it does. The very tip, right?
Dude, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's a head and shoulders pattern. It's horrible. We don't want that. I mean, we're way inside our channel, which is great. It seems to be happy right there in the middle. But, I mean, what's the weirdest thing is we broke out of the top of the channel for sure. I mean, we busted out of it and then went right back into it. Redefines the channel though, doesn't it? I like a wedge salad with blue cheese, chunky blue cheese, chunks all over it, and bits of bacon.
I like ham and turkey, light lettuce, tomatoes with cut up banana peppers, salt and pepper vinaigrette.
Do you like blue cheese?
Yeah, I like blue cheese.
You ever had a wedge
like all cheese.
You ever had a wedge salad?
No, I have not.
Dude, they take a salad, a head of lettuce, they strip off the outside leaves, they slice it into they slice it in half one way, then they slice it in half the other way, so you get 4 quarters. And each one of those quarters is a salad, and they just drizzle it with balsamic vinaigrette and
I love balsamic.
And chunky blue cheese dressing and bacon bits and tomato. They put like tomato halves on it, a couple of tomatoes, and I don't know how much other things they put on it. It is one of the most delicious things. It is like heavenly, bro. You just take a steak knife and just cut into it and just, oh.
Bless you.
You can get one of those from the Outback. Outback Steakhouse. Get them at a Sam Sneed's. Sam Sneed's. Golf course restaurant. Famous for their wedge salad, you see. That's right, you see. You're going to go in there and get you a wedge of salad there, you know. Oh God, exactly. Blue cheese. Oh my God, no. Blue cheese with wings is so good. Oh. Ooh, ooh, oh, ooh, oh, oh. We've got barbecue in the fridge though, bro. I'm gonna fucking chow down on that for lunch.
I love barbecue. What kind of barbecue? Chicken? Beef?
I got a little bit of everything. I got sliced pork, ribs,
Nice.
and I've got wings, and I've got garlic bread, beans, baked beans, and French fries.
That sounds delish.
Yeah. Tula's like, I'm here for the breadsticks. Hey, Tula. Tula, we're watching my prediction just go to shit right now. I said it was going to go to 37.4, and now we're at 36. We're right where we started. We're right where we started. We were here, and I go, okay, it's going up to 37.4. It got up to 37. It hit 37, man. 37. 37. It hit 37. So it's $400 off. And then it just dropped. Then it just started dropping, and I'm like, okay, this is really bad. But it's still inside its channel. It's in a falling channel, so it's fine. It's still inside that. It's at the It's getting near the bottom of it, though. Wow, just free fall for right now on the 24-hour. No resistance on the way down. There, it's under 700. Oh, shit. I could probably get it at 36.9 right now if I was buying Bitcoin. I tried to get a Bybit account or whatever, but you can't. I guess you can't do that in the United States. You could use a VPN probably. This is the bottom of the channel, man. This we either find out here if we turn around or not. $7.19. So it is hit. It's hit some support down here. Let's look at it over the 7-day. This is right where I bought it at. I mean, this is where it was when I bought it, but I got charged at 37. Shit, man. I need to go put my barbecue in the toaster oven. Pfft. Chicken. Pfft. It's 782. Fighting back. It's got a ways to go, though, man, to get back up to 37. Holy shit. Oh, it's fucking raining. Dude, it's raining and my little solar fountain's working in the rain. That's crazy. Hell yeah.
He said, hell yeah. Ah. What? What, boy? What big boy? What big boy? Huh? Huh? Scratch your tail. Little tail scratch for the day. Bingo, boys. What? 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 Hey. Hey. Yeah.
Frank.
His head's so big, dude. Like, I have to pet all of it. I can't just pet one side. I
Frank,
have
you
to...
got a big head.
Oh,
Frank.
bite mark right here.
Who bit
You
him?
guys need to... They fight each other all the time.
Max bites his face? Oh.
Dude, Max bites his balls, his ankles, his tail.
That's mean.
Just a harasser, huh?
Hey,
You're just a
little
harasser
Max.
boy, huh?
Max Headroom. That's what we want to see right there. Look at that big face. Oh my god,
What?
look at the
What
face.
you doing, huh, boy?
Your little muscle
What are you doing,
body.
huh?
Got the little muscles. You know, muscle boy. Look at your
Mhm.
muscles.
What's up, Bubba?
Look at the
up,
definition.
Oh yeah, dude, he's definitely got athlete body.
He's jacked, bro.
Why are you looking like that? You gonna throw up?
Oh, you little kissy boy. Oh,
What?
I'm gonna throw up on you, Daddy, 'cause I love you. Blech.
What's going on, buddy? You're scaring me. All right, I'm gonna put you down, all right? I'm gonna put you down because you're scaring me.
36,800. 803, baby.
You know what, big boy?
No throwing up in the house.
Yeah, you got carpet down.
New
so
rule.
we're good.
New rule.
Yeah, no throwing up in the house, guys. Now the little one likes to eat weed, bro. He's a crackhead.
That's funny.
He'll sniff that shit out, dude. I'll get some new stuff, and he'll be like right here on my face, like as soon as I open the bag. I'm like, dude, like chill out, man.
Yeah, they get sick. They will get sick.
And then like when we'd make hash, you know, some of it would get on the ground like little flakes or whatever. Dude, he would go in there and clean that up. Dude, he's the cleaning crew.
That's funny.
What, boy? What, you little boo boo? Hmm? You little boy.
Heat
Little
activated ash.
boy. I need to brush you.
I have a feeling if I turn off the show, it's gonna fucking jolt upwards. Crypto's just gonna go 37.4 immediately.
Right, as soon as you stop.
right
as
to my
soon
prediction.
As you hit stop, dude. That shit's gonna be like.
Boom, 37.4.
What do you want, BB? You want your ball? Is that why you're all up in my face? Is it demon time? Huh, buddy? Where is your ball at? Where's your ball at? Go get it. He is so bad. I can't even look at you in your eyes. Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Huh? Go get it, boy. Max is completely obsessed with his blue ball. Like 1000% obsessed. I don't want to say he likes it. I want to say that he's in love with the ball. Like 100%.
There he is behind you.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
Oh no, that's Frank. It's Frank. Frank's chilling.
Dude,
Frankie
the ball
face.
doesn't even squeak anymore.
Frank doesn't even care about that ball, does he?
No, Frank does not play fetch. Frank
That's
does
like
not do
Rogan.
any of those things.
Rogan doesn't play fetch either.
He's
Rogan's
hey,
like, I don't do that
what's up?
shit. He's like, I'll
He
eat.
used to play fetch when he was young.
He's
Until
like-
he's just a chill dog.
You give me stuff, I will eat it. Otherwise, I am not picking things up for you and carrying them around for you.
Yeah, dude, I can tell when my dog is fucked up. He'll start going like this while he's standing. And he'll have that help me face, you know. You ever seen somebody that was too high and they looked at you for help? You know that help me face?
Yeah.
We've all had that face at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll have that help me face on, and then what? Franklin, you watching the fish, buddy? You watching the fish? I saw you. What, you big boy?
He's probably watching right now, Tula.
All right. I'm gonna shoot my mother chuckers. Oh.
Supposed to watch this stupid video. I don't want to watch it. But I'm gonna regret if I don't. I have a feeling. It's just shit doesn't want to fucking play on these browsers. It's not playing.
Hey Cryptikids, and welcome back to another video. Today is going to
He's seeing a rising. He predicting it's gonna go up. It won't. These videos won't play for me. It's fucking psychotic, dude.
be a jam-packed video, and yes, this message that, well, the message is that I'm going to bring to you is super important if you hold Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general overall. So we're going to jump into the Bitcoin chart, which is reversing like we discussed in the previous video. I have a very, very critical macro time frame chart for you that if you hold or plan to hold
he's
Bitcoin
looking at the
for
long term.
you
Yeah.
do not want to miss
It's
it.
funny, we
So
both
this
said
will
long
be
term at the
a
same time.
very interesting chart. Now on top of this, I want to talk about the key levels of resistance and support for Bitcoin, and additionally we have some very, very interesting news and updates for Bitcoin as well. So ladies and gents, as I said, it's going to be one hell of a video, so make sure to smash up that like button, and there you go, as always. Smash up the like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you do not miss out on any of these critical Bitcoin updates in a volatile market like this that we're in currently. So ladies and gents, without further ado, I'm Crypto Kid, and let's jump into today's video. So first thing is first, we want to discuss about Bitcoin. So what has Bitcoin done since the last video? Well, not too much. We're seeing a little bit of a dip towards the downside. I discussed that Bitcoin is currently having a bearish divergence on the daily time frame, which is pretty critical. Daily time frame bearish divergences usually do tend to play out very, very well. So that is why I said, well, expect a reversal towards the downside, because we hit this ascending parallel channels target of $38,000 already, which we discussed on videos last week and the week before. So again, massive congrats on that if you did decide to take that trade. And if you are looking for somewhere to trade Bitcoin or crypto overall, you can check out the description below and sign up to Bitflux, because Bitflux, it takes literally around 20 seconds to sign up. Currently there is no KYC, and if you're in the UK, you should be able to use the exchange. And we have a very cool campaign for you guys, is that if you deposit 50 USDT and make at least one trade on their derivatives platform, you can get a chance of winning 1,000 USDT.
Fuck your
and currently
chance.
there's still 17 days left. So yeah, you may think that there's not a massive chance that we can win, but someone's going to win at some point, so you've got really nothing to lose. So give it a go if you're looking for some place to trade Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies at. Now jumping back onto Bitcoin's chart, so as I said, a potential target for reversal is right over here at around $34,000 to $35,000, because that is why, that is not why, but where we have support from volume on Bitcoin.
He thinks we're going down to
Volume usually
34,
gives a lot of
35,000.
support for assets, especially like an asset for Bitcoin. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin saw a retracement towards the $35,000 area, which could be coming in the upcoming days. So
He put
that
this
is
up
something
40
that I
minutes
would be
ago.
surprised by. However, can we test the $38,000 again? That is also very much possible. So if $38,000 is tested before we test $35,000, that could be a time to enter new long positions, especially if we break above $39,600, which I don't think is likely. That could mean that Bitcoin will enter the for sure bull market. But do keep in mind, for an uptrend to continue playing out, we need to create higher lows. So if we just get rid of the VPVR at the moment and the MRI, we can see that Bitcoin has created a higher high on the weekly time frame. However, eventually, now that we're at key level of resistance, we also need to draw back down and create a higher low. That is how you confirm an uptrend. So this was our previous low. Bitcoin, well, hypothetically, if we came down to $31,000, that would be a perfect higher low for Bitcoin to come down to and then continue going towards the upside, which is why I have a couple of limit orders placed over here on Bitflux to make sure that I will buy up Bitcoin once it reaches these levels.
31,000. He's buying at
quick line
31,000,
of
he
support
says.
now for Bitcoin, and it is possible that we see a retracement down that will provide us this higher low metric. So it is very much possible, and I am looking at it as a chance to buy cheaper Bitcoin and going much more in as position size wise. So that is the short-term time frame.
So for
Bitcoin.
me,
Now, look at
who
the
bought at
macro chart.
17,000, it would do me no
I'm gonna
good to
save
sell
this
off
till
a bunch of
after the
Bitcoin
news, because I wanna
and
cover
then buy
this
in
news
at
very
30,000,
quickly.
because I have
So,
it
you guys
bought
know
in at
Grayscale.
17,000.
You guys know that Grayscale has a trust ETF that requires, well, trusts do have to purchase the underlying asset. However, trusts are more closed off than spot ETFs. Spot ETFs are offered to a wider range of investors. And over here, the CEO of Grayscale said it's been a 10-year dress rehearsal. We're ready for the main event. So this could be hinting that the spot ETF may be approved very, very soon. And remember, I think we're still in the 8-day window period of the Bloomberg analyst guy's prediction saying that SEC could approve it within this week type of, the 8-day range. So do keep in mind in that it's not a massive indicator that these two Bloomberg guys have said this, but it is something that we could still be on the watch out for. So this period is still an important one, and let's see what happens in these final upcoming days. Now, this is a very important chart. So the net capital inflows via stablecoin switching bullish. This could mean that more cash could be allocated to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies very, very soon. Now, what does this mean? So, in the past, 1.5 year, the stablecoin net capital inflow was actually negative, and now we're starting to switch positive. And this inflow could mean that what's happening is people have stable coins and they want to use these stable coins to purchase other cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or any other altcoin. So
Good morning and welcome to Rising. Thank you for joining us on Monday. Brianna Joy Gray, hello, how are you?
Hello, Robbie Suave. I guess I don't know your middle name.
Well, I'm not gonna, it's kind of an embarrassing one. I'm not gonna share it. I'll leave the sleuths in the comment section to go find
Someone
it.
should make this their Ask Me Anything question for
Oh,
the
and then
weekend.
I'll have to reveal it. Okay. I was gonna comment on our wardrobe choices. We're both going with the blue and the red
Yes, I always
accent.
love it when we align. When we have simpatico as we are getting dressed in the morning, suggesting maybe we'll have simpatico here today on the show.
I think we might on this subject at least. We'll see when we get to the updates in the Israel-Palestine conflict, how that shakes
Right.
out. But let's talk about this subject.
Yeah, well, we have a new bombshell report on the 2022 destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline. They found a senior Ukrainian military officer with deep ties to the country's intelligence services played a central role in the bombing. This is according to the Washington Post. Per the Post, Roman Chervinsky, a decorated 48-year-old colonel who served in Ukraine's Special Operations Forces, was the coordinator of the Nord Stream operation. People familiar with his role said managing logistics and support for a 6-person team that rented a sailboat under false identities and used deep-sea diving equipment to place explosive charges on the gas pipelines. As pointed out by the Daily Wire's Greg Ree, it took the Washington Post a year to admit that Tucker Carlson was right about Nord Stream. A year ago, the Post published analysis on Tucker Carlson's, quote, shoddy case linking the U.S. to alleged Nord Stream sabotage. Then 6 months ago, they reported that the U.S. had intelligence of detailed Ukrainian plans to attack Nord Stream pipeline. The Gray Zone's Aaron Mate weighed in on the Washington Post Nord Stream arc, tweeting, quote, your first clue that the Washington Post new Nord Stream scoop is yet another CIA cover story is in the second graph. U.S. and Western officials have called the Nord Stream bombings a dangerous attack on Europe's energy infrastructure. No, top U.S. officials, namely Blinken and Nuland, have openly celebrated the Nord Stream bombings as a tremendous strategic opportunity that they're very gratified by. Meanwhile, contributing editor at Unheard, Mary Harrington, added on the story's timing, it's official, Ukraine is no longer the current thing.
Earlier this year, we spoke to veteran journalist Seymour Hersh about his exclusive reporting that President Biden personally ordered the destruction of Nord Stream. Here he is defending that reporting.
I've been in this business with sources like this for 50 years. When I first did BeLi, there was, overwhelmingly disapproval of what I wrote, and most of the stories I wrote that were controversial has always been attacked on the it's easy to get rid of something on the basis of anonymity, and so you have to understand there's no alternatives. Either the people I've known inside have one thing in common, whether military or civilian, and that is they really understand that they've taken their oath of office not to their boss, not to the general or admiral, and not to the president, but to the Constitution. And those are people that when they get troubled by things that are going on, have talked to me. And this has been going on. I've done this for 50 years.
All right, so what do you make of this story? Aaron Mate, as we just read, is continuing to express some skepticism that this is the full extent of it, pointing out that the story seems to take at face value the idea that the West was devastated by this explosion when we have on record a number of U.S. officials saying that it was strategically advantageous for the United States. Do you think this is the full story, or do you agree with what Aaron Mate seems to be alluding to here, which is that there's more, perhaps more implications of the U.S. government in this?
Well, I mean, like Seymour Hersh's version of events, this version of events, other version of events, I can't read the direct intelligence, right? You're relying on some narrator, some mediator to say, I saw documents, I talked to people, and this is my analysis. That was true of Seymour Hersh, who's a great journalist, but he was telling us things that he had seen and heard, not documents we could review ourselves. That's the same case with the Washington Post. I think the original narrative about what happened, remember the original narrative about Nord Stream was that Russia did it. That's what the mainstream media eagerly asserted without evidence or much motive to do it.
Yeah.
So that seems to have totally collapsed. Seymour Hersh's report squarely blames the U.S., says Biden was personally responsible, said it was U.S. Navy SEALs diving team that were trained in the U.S. to do this mission. The Washington Post is saying, no, it was Roman Chervinsky, this kind of rogue Ukrainian operative who's actually in prison right now. He was arrested for launching some kind of operation that he did not have authority to do. So given that. So that is true. So they arrested him for that. That was sourced. So now they're saying he did this too. I just don't understand. If it is still somehow the U.S. did it, why would Ukrainian officials be taking and we're about to cut them off of support anyway? Why would Ukraine be like falling on its sword and taking the blame for this?
Because as long as it's someone random, rogue, unaffiliated,
Because they're desperate for money from the United States.
Including not attached
They're like,
to Ukraine, then they can escape
we'll put up a
national
sacrificial
liability
lamb
for
if you
destroying
keep
a
giving us your
multi-billion-dollar
money
infrastructure
and
project
support.
that
That's
Germany and other European powers
exactly
have spent a lot
Ukraine's
of
doing.
money
They're
on.
desperate. They're desperate for United States support, and the United States has admitted that Russia won the war. It's over. Ukraine war is over. It's ended. Vladimir Putin, Russia gets to keep all that land they took. The United States cannot win it back. We're going to stop investing in that war because it's throwing good money after bad money. So we're not going to do it anymore. All right, so it looks like it's still falling. I hate to leave it at this, but it's totally falling. And Crypto Kid says it's going to go down to 31,000. So if it goes down to 31,000, I'm buying some fucking more. I might just wait before I buy some more, but I do want to buy some more. So I am trying to get up to, I think, 7 Bitcoins. I want to have like 7 Bitcoins. Let's see how close I am to that.
So wow, that dude predicts it's gonna go down all the way down to 35 before it even comes back up.
31.
Wow.
I've got 6.5
Yes.
Bitcoins. 6.5 Bitcoins.
Hold on, baby, don't grab it. I'm listening, bro.
I just said I got 6.5 Bitcoins.
Yeah, killing it, brother. When are we gonna buy an island? Call it Newahi.
That's funny.
What's up, girl? Looking good today, huh? What's up, baby? You too.
If it goes to 31, you're going to buy more? Yeah. shit, bro. He showed his purchases where he was going to make them at 31,400, 31,800.
Oh, he's gonna buy whole Bitcoin?
No, I didn't see how much the purchases were for.
Hey Crypticades, and welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a jam-packed video, and yes, this message that, well, the message is that I'm going to bring to you orders placed over here on Bitflex to make sure that I will buy.
He's gonna get 0.3, 0.15, and 0.17. So 3, 4, 5. So he's gonna get like 0.6 of a Bitcoin overall. And his prices are 31,118, 31,250, and 31,800. So he feels like it might go all the way down to 31,118. And his biggest purchase is 31,250. A third of a Bitcoin.
Yep.
Up Bitcoin once it reaches these levels, because it is a very, very critical line of support now for Bitcoin, and it is possible that we see a retracement down that will provide us this higher low metric. So it is very much possible, and I am looking at it as a chance to buy cheaper Bitcoin and going much more in as position size wise. So that is the short-term time frame for Bitcoin. Now, looking at the macro chart, actually, I'm going to save this till after the news because I want to cover these news very quickly. So you guys know Grayscale. You guys know that Grayscale has a trust ETF that requires, well, trusts do have to purchase the underlying asset. However, trusts are more closed off than spot ETFs. Spot ETFs are offered to a wider range of investors. And over here, the CEO of Grayscale said it's been a 10-year dress rehearsal. We're ready for the main event. So this could be hinting that the spot ETF may be approved very soon. And remember, I think we're still in the 8-day window period of the Bloomberg analyst guy's prediction saying that SEC could approve it within this week type of, the 8-day range. So do keep in mind in that it's not a massive indicator that these two Bloomberg guys have said this, but it is something that, we could still be on the watch for. So this period is still an important one, and let's see what happens in these final upcoming days. Now, this is a very important chart. So the net capital inflows via stablecoin switching bullish. This could mean that more cash could be allocated to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies very soon. Now, what does this mean? So, in the past, 1.5 year, the stablecoin net capital inflow was actually negative, and now we're starting to switch positive. And this inflow could mean that what's happening is people have stable coins and they want to use these stable coins to purchase other cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or any other altcoin. So that is why this is actually pretty bullish, indicating that capital could be going into Bitcoin via stable coins. So this is a pretty cool chart that I wanted to point out to you guys. Now, the Bitcoin open interest is decreasing. This open interest topic has been something very hot in the past couple of days and weeks, and it's something that we've been talking about a lot on the CryptoKid channel. So what is going on? Well, open interest is decreasing, as you can see over there. However, the Bitcoin price is still holding strong, although I still do expect a reversal towards the downside, same like the previous video. Now, usually when there is mass option expiry, which is something that we had last week, the asset tends to reverse in price direction. However, Bitcoin is still currently holding strong, but I do expect a reversal in price. As you can see, whenever we saw options, the open interest drop down significantly, in the upcoming candles, we did eventually see a move towards the downside. So this is expected because the mass options expiry was, it was very, very big, and open interest was at all-time highs. So the price was, the asset is just pretty over leveraged at the moment, if you want to say it. Now, capitalizing on these demand for options trading and the demand, the mass amount of open interest, you can see that the largest US options exchange, CBOE, is going to launch a margined Bitcoin and Ethereum future contract, most likely. And they want to just capitalize on this situation. We can also see that Crypto.com wants to also start offering options instruments because, again, it's getting very popular. There's a lot of traction into it. This current pump is being fueled by derivative traders, not spot traders. So it is a fake pump. It's a fake rally. Some people just don't want to accept that. But it's somehow good because the fake rally brings in mainstream media attention, which then brings in retail investors. So yes, if we're not even initially pumping due to spot volumes, people actually purchasing Bitcoin, even if that's not the case, the derivatives volume can then fuel investors that actually want to purchase Bitcoin directly to jump in on the trend. So somehow this is indirectly good for Bitcoin, so nothing to be worried over there. Now, let's have a look at the Bitcoin macro trend. Now, this is the monthly trend for Bitcoin, highlighting the different times where we saw the Bitcoin halvings. Now, as an indicator,
Halving.
I have the
Is he
RSI
saying halving?
at the bottom.
God,
Now,
he
I
sounds
wanna
like
jump
such an
into
idiot. The
this
halving.
more depth. Well, it's not something that requires a lot of full technical analysis, but we can see that after the halvings, the RSI is
after the
massively
halvings.
overbought. So this is back
Dude,
in
that graph he's
2012.
got is pretty
In
cool looking.
2015, the RSI switches from ranging within its channel to massively being overbought, and then again, same thing in
Yeah, but he says
2019,
halving, so
2020. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're once again seeing on the RSI an
The
uptrend
halving.
that could eventually lead to us getting overbought. Now, these massive overbought territories on the RSI fueled huge bull markets that you can see over here on the price. Now, if we compare the RSI to these overbought territories at the current moment, we can see that we're nowhere near to being overbought. So that means that the current price action we have is nothing compared to what we could see in the upcoming months. That is why we are still very, very early. And if you are planning on buying up more Bitcoin, what is better than DCAing, in my opinion? Of course, nothing in this video is financial advice, but I'm just DCing into Bitcoin because the more you read about Bitcoin, the more you understand the technology, the more you want to FOMO in, to be honest. And looking at the technical analysis, it doesn't look like, in my opinion, a bad time to be getting in, and the fundamental analysis is already coming in. Although we may see a small retracement, as I said, in the macro scale, this doesn't really matter. Now, talking about the macro scale, I want to look at the support and resistances for Bitcoin. The current level of $36,000 is the support we have, the major support that we have that is in play right now is the $36,100 level. So even if we don't come down to the 31K, it is very much possible that Bitcoin tests this $36,100 level in the upcoming days, of which could be a place to start buying up some Bitcoin in spot. Maybe not a long position, but in terms of spot, it could be a place to accumulate some Bitcoin, or perhaps even a long position could be viable. But I will look into that in the upcoming days. So $30,600, so not $30,000, $36,100 is a very critical moment that Bitcoin could reverse to, and then continue its massive move towards the upside, coming
36.1.
towards the $43,200 level, which is the next critical level of resistance that Bitcoin will eventually face. So, do I think we're going to go above $42,300? $43,200? Well, no, I don't think it's going to happen in this upcoming 2-3 months. Yes, we could potentially come and test it, but anything more would be a massive bull market, right? So we would be going into the next bull market. So I believe the top of the bull market is going to be in 2025. So going by that logic, and That's combined with the halving, and usually the top of the bull market happens after 1 year after the halving. So look, we could be trending, right? We could go here, we could trend a little and then go up again, and by this time we're in like 2024 already, and of course our target for Bitcoin is higher than the previous all-time high. So this could be a possibility that we trend between these support and resistances. However, just looking at the immediate shorter term, because it's not very easy to predict the massive long term, no matter what anybody says, it's incredibly hard to really give a prediction on it. I think $43,200 will give us a very good resistance after we somehow find support either on 36,100 or go down to 31K and continue towards the upside. 43,200 will be extremely important for Bitcoin. And ladies and gents, the final thing that I want to mention is, well, actually two final things is tomorrow is going to be the CPI and core CPI. So I'll be discussing this in more detail in tomorrow's video. So do stay tuned and turn on the notification bell for that, because that is very important for the traditional markets. And ladies and gents, Black Friday sale is going to be coming to TradingView. And in 6 days and 16 hours, basically you're going to be able to sign up to TradingView with my link to get 70% off your plan and 1 month free. So this is going to be an incredible offer that if you want to buy TradingView account, a pro plan, it's going to be the perfect time to do so. I always renew my TradingView account during Black Friday because it's the biggest sale that they have, and it's so worth it in my opinion. So stay tuned. In the next six days and 16 hours, you will have a massive promotion through the Crypto Kid channel. So ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. I think this video...
Learn how to say halving, bro.
Incoming.
In Gaza City. If you recall, this is the hospital that was targeted initially by the Israelis at the beginning of the war, and so parts of the hospital were damaged, and we, after the collapse of Shifa, we turned it, at least the forecourt and the grounds of the hospital into a field hospital. We now have over 500 wounded. There's only 3 surgeons here and 2 operating rooms with 2 anesthetists. Today we've been joined by an obstetrician who's trying to also provide the only obstetric service in Gaza, and he's been able to perform some of the cesarean section. But we are short on supplies. We've been having to perform excruciatingly painful procedures on wounds of the patients to stop them becoming infected with no analgesia or anesthetic, because we have such limited supplies and we're keeping them for the most life-saving surgery. Most of the wounded are being bandaged up and just admitted into the forecourt of the hospital. And those who need life-saving surgery go into the operating rooms. But we're extremely limited. And now we're the only hospital in the whole of the Gaza City. It's awful. I mean, when you especially do it with children, and you feel the pain that is being inflicted, but at the same time, these wounds have to be cleaned. Otherwise, they become septic and they become life-threatening on the patient. And so you can wait 1 day, you can wait a couple of days, but at the end of the day, with the family's consent, you end up having to do these things because you have to just to buy time. 90% of what I do now is buying time for these patients until something happens, some miracle, some breakthrough, some ceasefire or humanitarian corridor or anything to help these patients to get the medical help that they need.
Tarek Abu Azoum is live for us now in Khan Yunis in the south of the Gaza Strip. Tarek, give us the latest situation that you're hearing about at the hospitals in Gaza.
Yes, hospitals in the north and central areas of Gaza Strip are in the edge of collapse as the relentless bombardment took place and is still continuing on the surrounding areas of the hospitals, and also with the ongoing crisis of the fuel and medical supplies inside the hospital. People are trapped inside the Shifa hospital and even similar hospitals in the central areas and even in the north of the Gaza Strip, as they are no longer able to have any safe corridor out to the southern areas of the territory, which also bombardment continue there as well. And people inside the hospital are really terrified. They have no clear water sources. They are running low also on food, and they are calling everyone and even the international community to help them to get out from the hospital, as also the attacks continue in the yards of the hospitals and even in some certain buildings at Shifa hospital. Doctors are tirelessly trying to take care of patients who are still alive inside the hospital, as more than as dozens of dead bodies had decomposed due to the lack of power and also to the inability of movement and mobility to allow for ambulances to take them to be buried in one of the Gaza main cemeteries in order to at least reduce the number of dead people inside the morgues or inside the yards of the hospital. Now, what is the Gaza Strip hospitals are witnessing is catastrophic, as there is no any further aid delivered to those hospitals in the north or even in the central areas of the territory.
And Tarek, many of those hospitals have stopped taking new patients, but new casualties keep coming as the strikes keep hitting parts of Gaza. We've just been hearing about a new airstrike on the Jabalia refugee camp in the last few hours. What are you hearing about that?
Yes, the bombardment on Jabalia refugee camp continued, destroying several residential buildings inside this very densely populated refugee camp. People in Jabalia refugee camp still existing and still taking shelter in United Nations schools and even in hospitals, as they didn't find any safe shelter to flee and to remain inside, as Israel keeps bombarding and destroying houses, complete neighborhoods, and we're talking about hospitals, and sometimes the situation had improved to attack even ambulances as they are evacuating people from these areas. Now, what is really important to mention is that the Jabalia refugee camp is not the only place that had been bombarded, but the main concentration also in the last hour was on the southern areas of the territory, in particular in Khan Yunis city, where we are right now, as Israel had destroyed 4 residential buildings, claiming the lives of 23 Palestinians till now. The majority of the victims have arrived to Al-Nasr hospital, we're right now here, and a number of wounded people also have been reported, and they are receiving treatment right now inside the corridors of this hospital.
And at the south where you are, that's supposed to be the safe area where Israel is telling people to evacuate to. What is it like living day to day with this dreadful level of uncertainty, not least as well that the chaos, the noise, the dust in the air?
Well, people in the south of the territory literally are witnessing notable deterioration in their humanitarian conditions. They are living unparalleled situations and circumstances, as they are forced to get up early in the early hours of the morning just to go search and look for food, water, in order to bring back to feed the babies and the families. And what I clearly noticed in the southern areas, due to the lack of gas also as well, people start looking for wood to be cooked and even to be used to set fire in order to do cooking and even to do their basic needs by using this item with the absence of gas and even with the ongoing closure and prevention of a fuel entry to the territory. Now, all of them are really desperate. They are just only thinking about how they can have access to food, how they can have access to water. Sometimes people are forced to carry their gallons and their bottles for long distance, carrying them by using their own hands to walk for long distance to get back to their houses. Meanwhile, they get tired, exhausted, and this is what's happening on the ground in the southern areas of the territory on a daily basis.
Okay, Tarek Abu Azoum joining us there from Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. Thanks very much, Tarek. Well, earlier we spoke to a displaced Palestinian who's arrived in the southern Gaza Strip after evacuating from the north. He says it's no safer despite Israel's promises.
There is no safety, there is no security. We were told go to the south and it will be safe there. However, every day I'm hearing more ambulances come to the hospital. I'm seeing more people take their loved ones to the graveyard. I'm seeing more children injured, more people amputated. Every day it seems that the south is getting hit more. So we are feeling extremely scared and frightened. In addition to the total lack of food, lack of water, a lack of sleeping space. The capacity of refugees here in the hospital has doubled over the last 2 days since more people have come to the north.
Well, the Israeli army has been defending its relentless attacks on hospitals and ambulances in Gaza. In a now deleted social media post, it said ambulances are used to transport patients in need of medical care, and hospitals are places where patients receive treatment, right? But, it goes on, Hamas uses ambulances to transport its operatives and weapons, disguising them as civilians. And hospitals are terrorist infrastructure and not used for medical purposes. It points out this is against international law, and it says it turns hospitals and ambulances into legitimate military targets.
Wow.
Diana Bhuttu is a Palestinian lawyer and former legal advisor to the Palestine Liberation Organization. She says Israel has made similar allegations before, but has never been able to prove them.
No
the Israeli army has been dying to try to make things that are otherwise illegal, to try to turn them into legal. And we all know that it is illegal to hit hospitals, it is illegal to hit ambulances, it is illegal to deny care to the sick and to the wounded. And Israel persists because it can. And I think it's very important for us to put this in its proper context. These same allegations were made in 2008 and 2009, again in 2012, again in 2014. They have never been proven. And what we do know is that Palestinian doctors, international doctors, doctors from international organizations, everybody has come out and said that this is actually not being used for any military purposes, and therefore it is illegal. Therefore, the onus is on Israel to prove that it's illegal. But even if it tries to do that, we have to bear in mind what Israel is doing. It's trying to commit genocide against Palestinians, and this is why it must be stopped now.
The Qatari Reconstruction Committee's office in Gaza has been hit by an Israeli airstrike. Qatar's foreign ministry has reacted, saying in a statement, "We condemn in the strongest terms the Israeli occupation bombing of the headquarters of the Qatari Committee for the Reconstruction of Gaza. The bombing of the headquarters is an extension of the policy of targeting people, especially since the committee worked through its project to alleviate the suffering of the population in the Gaza Strip. We call on the Israeli occupation to stop providing flimsy justifications for targeting civilian objects, health facilities and civilians." The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees is now warning that its operations in Gaza could shut down within 2 days. UNRWA's Gaza chief, Thomas White, wrote on X that the humanitarian operation will grind to a halt in the next 48 hours as no fuel is allowed to enter Gaza. He also added that 2 of their main water distribution contractors ceased working. They simply ran out of fuel, which will deny 200,000 people drinkable water. Across the world, United Nations flags are flying at half-mast to pay tribute to UN staff killed in the war on Gaza. A minute's silence has also been observed in their honour. The war has seen the highest number of UN personnel killed in a conflict in the history of the organisation. Rory Tallons reports.
Some were killed queuing for bread, Others died along with their families in their homes.
Were
Some
they
were teachers,
queuing?
some were
Were they
nurses,
queuing?
some doctors,
Were they
administrators,
queuing?
engineers. All were employees of the UN
were
Agency for
queuing.
Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA. And on Monday, UN flags around the world were lowered in tribute to them. This was the minute's silence in Geneva.
Over the last month, 101 of our colleagues have lost their lives in Gaza. This is the highest number of aid workers killed in the history of our organization in such a short time.
When Israel began bombing Gaza on October the 7th, tens of thousands of people sought shelter in the agency's facilities. More than 760,000 people are now sheltering in them, many in schools. The agency provides Israel GPS coordinates to all its locations. UNRWA says its schools and shelters are overcrowded. 60 have been damaged by Israeli attacks, and the agency cannot protect those facilities in the north of the Gaza Strip. And for its staff, the war on Gaza has been the worst crisis for the United Nations humanitarian workers in the organization's history. In fact, it's not even close. The next worst moment for the UN was a suicide bombing in Abuja, Nigeria, in 2011, killing 46, less than half the current Gaza total. UNRWA provides Palestinian refugees with education, health and social services, but it's long been under pressure. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wants it disbanded for allowing Palestinians to inherit refugee status from their fathers. This keeps alive their right to return to lands taken in 1948. And in 2018, President Donald Trump cut US funding for UNRWA, plunging it into financial crisis. But nothing compares to the carnage of recent weeks.
UNRWA and others are party to evidence. These attacks are happening inside UNRWA installations. 60 have been impacted, and just yesterday an UNRWA guest house in Rafah was hit only an hour and a half after international staff members left. So that evidence can be gathered, and the key question is what can happen, because we have prima facie evidence of potential war crimes, and that something has to happen. That has to turn into justice, and the key question for us is how that happens.
Put plainly, what is happening to UNRWA's staff is the same as what's happening to the people of Gaza. Rory Challens, Al Jazeera.
Let's bring in our senior political analyst now, Marwan Bashara. And Marwan, we've got the UN today remembering the terrible loss of life in Gaza, 101 of their employees, even as it remains polarised and paralysed at the top of the organisation, and it can't stop any of these deaths.
No, as Secretary General Guterres said, they don't have the power and they don't have the money, but the only thing they do have is the voice, and they are now more than before voicing their displeasure, if not their condemnation of what is going on. And clearly this manifestation, as it were, of the flag is a scream. It's more than a voice. It's really a scream of help as well.
Thank you, Dave Campione.
As a condemnation of the killing of their own staff. But the question that keeps coming to mind the last 5 weeks is, why is it that this little naughty state, Israel, can be in such grave violation of UN resolutions, UN security resolutions, can be in grave violation of international law, can attack the UN Secretary General personally for making a speech saying none of this could happen in a vacuum, as if the response is this could happen in a vacuum. So, and then the killing of the UN staff, and so on and so forth, and then making all these aggressive, apprehensive attacks on the UN and its staff. It begs the question in the end: shouldn't it be censured? Shouldn't it be frozen or something? Shouldn't the UN take certain measures about a country that is an affront not only to its soul and spirit, but it's also an enemy of its own staff?
Exactly.
Well, an extension of that is, why does the US support it wholeheartedly?
Of course, the US has the politics and the policy and the strategy. The politics, of course, now it's a scandal around the world how lobbies in Washington tend to influence politics and especially foreign policy. And the Israel lobby, which should be distinguished from a Jewish lobby, the Israel lobby in Washington, which is a combination of evangelical Christians, the military-industrial complex, as well as various radical Zionist organizations in America, all of them really have huge influence on decision-making, especially in Congress, but also on the White House. And then there is the idea that, Biden and others have sold to the American public that Israel is some kind of an aircraft carrier in the Mediterranean. That without Israel, if it didn't exist, we would have created Israel because it serves our interest. This might have been correct sometime between 1970 and 1984, maybe, arguably. But certainly the past 30 or 40 years, Israel has been a burden, not an asset to the United States, which just the last 5 weeks, would have shown us that how much of a liability it has become. The entire greater Middle East, 57 Arab and Muslim majority countries are standing against Israel and asking the United States to stop being so hypocritical and to use double standard in its foreign policy. And the majority of public opinion, including in the United States, and asking for a ceasefire. So really the Biden administration knows that Israel is a liability, but continues to support it because President Biden himself has been blinded by his so-called I'm a Zionist, although I'm a Christian, and boxing himself behind Netanyahu. And just a quick note about that, by the way. He was a vice president for 8 years under Barack Obama. And Barack Obama spent his 8 years trying to decouple the mindset between the United States and Israel. Because the United States is a superpower. It's not supposed to act like a little rogue state. And Biden was part and parcel of those 8 years of Biden administration. But now Biden is back again, coupling the mindsets and repeating and supporting everything that Israel says, which is quite paradoxical and quite damaging to America's standing in the Middle East and beyond.
Well, let's look at those 58 Arab states that you mentioned, shaking their finger at the US. What are they doing? What more could they do in this situation?
Believe it or not, the fact that they've come out with a final communique is an achievement for them. As to what to expect of them. The fact that this final communique is strongly worded, condemnation of what's going on, rejection of any justification of the so-called Israel's right to self-defense for its war crimes in Gaza. All of these are already something that of importance. The fact that none of this is going to translate into food and fuel and to breaking the siege and ending the war, of course, is the main issue. But anyone who looks at the composition of the 22 Arab states and the other Muslim majority states, all 57 together, you'll notice a number of things. First of all, a good number of those countries don't even have diplomatic relations with one another. A good number of these countries are at war with one another. And a good number of countries have normalized relations with Israel. A lot of them are dependent on the United States and wouldn't want to anger the United States. So the fact that despite all of these differences, that they would come together and agree, that's in and by itself is an accomplishment. The fact that they could not agree to something actionable is shameful and shameless.
Marwan Bashar joining us here on set. Thanks very much. Now, the funeral of a Palestinian man killed by Israeli forces earlier on Monday has taken place in Hebron. The health ministry says Issa Ali Tamimi was shot in the head during a series of Israeli raids across the occupied West Bank. Witnesses say he was driving near a building where a military operation was taking place. Let's cross over to Zain Basravi, who's joining us from Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. Zain, tell us the latest that you're hearing about these raids that appear to be ongoing now, again, in the occupied West Bank.
That is correct. Those daytime raids, that violence during the day has seamlessly entered into the night. The first raid of the evening, we just heard a few minutes ago, taking place in in a village called Ya'abed near Jenin City. Now, we've just heard about this. It is developing. We don't know too much information, but we will get back to you on that latest raid as the evening goes on. But it promises most likely to be violent. In Jenin, there are generally very violent raids that the Israeli military carry out with a heavy footprint, and they get a lot of pushback from armed groups that are known to be operating in Jenin. And there's been a great deal of pushback by Palestinian residents living in that part of the occupied West Bank in recent weeks against these raids. So that promises to be an ongoing development throughout the evening. During the day, there were also at least 2 raids in an area called Kalkilia. Now, what happened there was Israeli forces went in to issue at one specific house, a residence, a stop notice on construction. Now, this is generally seen as a prelude to the destruction of a Palestinian home. And the specifics of this case are that this home is the residence of a man that had been in prison in the past, someone who was known to Israeli authorities. And what Palestinians say is that the Israeli military is taking this opportunity of heightened tensions, of heightened violence, to simply pick on people that they have on file, pick on people and bully people that they know and that are known to them, and then what they do now is issue these stop notices, say that those buildings are illegal. Of course, it's a difficult thing for Palestinians to stomach since they consider this occupation to be illegal. But what we saw is things like this can become very violent very quickly. 3 people were injured, 2 shot in the legs, 1 shot in the face. The video that emerged from this showing a very violent scene in the home, in the front yard, the front gate of a residence, someone bleeding heavily, and people screaming, calling for help. So these raids becoming increasingly violent since the war began on October 7th. Palestinians we've spoken to here in Ramallah, across the occupied West Bank, all say the same thing. They feel that this has gotten out of control and that the international community, even if it wants to, is paralyzed to do anything because the people who are controlling the narratives are the Israelis, the U.S. Government that is backing them, and they can simply do whatever they want here in the occupied territories with really no consequence.
Okay, Zain Basravi joining us there from the occupied West Bank with all the latest. Thanks very much, Zain. Well, Palestinian farmers in the occupied West Bank are seeing prices of their produce drop sharply. Since the start of the war on Gaza, Israel has heavily restricted access to markets, forcing farmers to sell only locally. Bernard Smith reports.
The crops are ready for harvesting, but Palestinian farmers have lost access to their main customers in Israel. Since October the 7th, Israel's military has effectively sealed off the occupied West Bank.
The Jordan Valley is Palestine's food basket. We produce most of the West Bank's products. Peppers, courgettes, aubergine, everything comes from this region. When the crossings to Israel are closed, all of these goods go to the local markets, which causes the prices to drop. On some days, we don't sell anything.
Just getting to market is a challenge. Palestinians are forced to take circuitous routes through the occupied West Bank to avoid Israeli settlements. The quickest road for us today is 40 kilometers. It should take 30 minutes, but it's only open to Israelis. Palestinians have to take a major detour. It adds 110 kilometers to our journey. In the past 5 weeks, more checkpoints and road closures have appeared.
Some checkpoints are only open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. This causes problems, and it also causes harm to the small villages we have to detour through.
90 minutes later, we get to the market. It's almost deserted. Before October the 7th, this was a packed wholesale market with fruit from Israel and vegetables from the West Bank. But now Israel has put in a checkpoint just outside there, and that's choked off access to the market because it's stopping Palestinians using a main road that passes through a nearby village. And the Israelis have done that to protect the settlers who live all around here. Prices of vegetables have more than halved. Shifts have been cut. Some businesses have closed down.
We're constantly afraid, so much so that when we come to work, for example, I'm from Nablus and I have to leave home at 1 in the morning when the checkpoint isn't busy, because if I get there later, I could be stuck for more than 2 hours, which impacts my work here.
As settlements expand and new ones appear, those waits at checkpoints get longer and longer, significantly disrupting businesses as well as the lives of the Palestinians forced to endure them. Bernard Smith, Al Jazeera, Beta in the occupied West Bank.
Still ahead here on Al Jazeera.
All I know is to be Palestinian is to always rep where you come from. Except when you're in line at the customs.
From Gaza, with love, we'll speak to a Palestinian artist who's using his music to raise awareness about what's happening in Gaza.
It's the return of some wet weather across the Arabian Peninsula.
Arabian Peninsula weather, I love it.
Arabia starting to see a splash of some rain here. This area has seen flooding as of late. Certainly the risk of seeing some more. I think the wet weather will catch up to Kuwait by Wednesday. We look at the 3-day forecast. Potentially some thundery downpours here. That's going to increase the humidity, but we should be back into the sunshine by Friday. Wider view of the Middle East shows us a soaking for the Levant, including Gaza right through to Syria, Jordan, and that wet weather will push into Iraq. Not the case across Central Asia. Plenty of sun. Temperatures above average. Ashgabat, Tehran, for example. Ashgabat, 23 degrees for you on Tuesday. And these intense rains that we saw through western Turkey now moving toward the east around the northeast Black Sea coast. And that's all that wet weather dropping down across the coast of the Levant. Meantime, as we go off to Africa right now, not as windy as it has been toward the northwest. Breezy, though, as we look toward the northeast. That includes Cairo with that storm system there, but you're just going to be dealing with wind. Pulses of rain across the Democratic Republic of Congo, some big storms there, and winds have lower temperatures across Botswana and Namibia, so Windhoek, 33 for you on Tuesday.
A house on this structure was actually destroyed in 2003, and the reason for that is that Fareh Hamid was actually convicted and sentenced to 7 life sentences for his part in the killing of Israeli soldiers. What the Israelis did is they came in here, and this now very small hole actually represents a nightmare for this family. Let me just show you. The Israelis actually drilled into the wall. Now, why did they do that? They're testing the thickness of the walls so they know what equipment to use when they come to demolish this house. And the family are telling us there was no reason for the Israelis to come in to their house at this time right now. They simply don't know why the Israelis want to demolish their house. This house could be demolished in the next 2 hours, in the next 2 weeks. They simply don't know when that demolition is going to come.
Again, you're watching Al Jazeera. Here's a reminder of our top stories this hour. Nearly all hospitals in Gaza City are out of service. The Palestinian Red Crescent says it was unable to reach patients from one hospital and evacuate them because of Israeli bombardment. The agency sent a convoy to Al-Quds Hospital but says it was forced to turn back. A residential building in Gaza's southern city of Khan Yunis has been hit, killing an entire family and wounding many others. Israel has told Palestinians to evacuate to the south, promising they would be safe. And the United Nations has held a moment of silence to commemorate the more than 100 UN workers killed in Gaza. Just a day ago, an UNRWA building in Gaza's southern coast was struck several times by the Israeli Navy.
All 100 people
In southern
inside?
Lebanon, Israeli airstrikes have hit near a convoy of journalists, injuring an
I'm so
Al Jazeera
confused about that.
cameraman.
Does anybody know about the UN bombing?
The group of journalists were travelling along the border near the Lebanese town of Yaoun. And separately, Israeli airstrikes have hit a residential area in the Lebanese village of Ain Nata. For weeks, the Lebanese armed group Hezbollah and Israeli military have been exchanging fire across the border. Zaina Hodder reports from southern Lebanon.
Bint Jbeil is known as the capital of the resistance. It has symbolic importance to Hezbollah. Much of the town was heavily bombed during the Lebanese armed group's last war with Israel in 2006.
Wow.
But its fighters held their ground. Nearly 2 decades later, they're again at war. Bint Jbeil has not yet been caught in the crossfire, but the group's supporters believe Israel wants to expand the conflict.
Israel doesn't hide its intentions. Of course, it would like to expand the ongoing war, but in the presence of Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, and our resistant fighters, we are not afraid.
Not far is an active front line. Along more than 100 kilometers of border, a few kilometers deep on each side. The cross-border fire is now in its 2nd month, and Hezbollah is promising more of this, as long as Israel continues its war on Gaza.
The group's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, has talked about increasing operations in terms of size, frequency, and the type of weapons, but making it clear this border will remain what he calls a support front for Gaza.
Israel has been increasing its threats not just against Hezbollah, but Lebanon as a whole, with the defense minister promising to do to the Lebanese capital Beirut what it did to Gaza. The warring sides have been using tough rhetoric.
Hezbollah has made it clear that the battleground will determine the course of the conflict. If Israel escalates, it will respond in kind. If they target civilians, Hezbollah will do the same.
Despite the occasional strikes that have hit deeper into each other's territories, this still largely remains a war of attrition. That could change as Israel battles Hamas fighters in Gaza. Zana Khudr, Al Jazeera, Southern Lebanon.
Well, let's now speak to Hamda Salhouch, joins us from the occupied East Jerusalem. And Hamda, the situation has clearly escalated on the Israel-Lebanon border. What's the latest you're hearing?
The situation escalating indeed over the last 24 to 48 hours. And just moments ago, the Israeli military chief of staff, Herzi Halevi, releasing a statement about the situation on the north, saying that the Israeli army is taking what he calls strong action and setting up plans to deal with the security situation in the north. He went on to say that the exchanges of fire and the threats coming from southern Lebanon cannot remain as is, really echoing the sentiment of other Israeli defense officials that we've been hearing from in the last hours and days. And remember, just earlier on Monday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sending a warning to Hezbollah, saying that those who play with fire will be met with fire. We're also hearing from the Israeli Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant, who has threatened to turn Beirut into a second Gaza. Now, the Israeli military and politicians alike have been saying that the threats that are coming from the north, the exchanges of fire, are no longer just provocations and tit for tats. They are now full-on aggressions. And the Israeli military says it's ready to deal with this course of action. But there is an interesting tidbit here to think about, which is the Americans. The Americans have been both publicly and privately urging the Israelis not to launch a larger preemptive strike in Lebanese territory against Hezbollah sites out of fears of a semi-regional war breaking out, and also out of fears that the attention of the Israeli military will be overstretched if there are two fronts that are simultaneously opened in the country. So there is a lot going on, and in the last 24 hours alone, we've seen 1 civilian deaths, 20 other injuries, among them 7 soldiers. But the Israeli army and the Israeli politicians alike have been saying that the situation needs to be addressed, it needs to be changed, and the Israeli military is going to follow through on that course of action, Laura.
Meanwhile, we have Turkey getting permission to set up a field hospital in Egypt. What do we know about that?
Well, Turkey has sent a ship that docked in Egyptian waters around 40 kilometers away from the Rafah crossing. It's got enough material for about 8 field hospitals. We're talking about operating theaters, ambulances, medicines, any other type of medical equipment you would need to assist patients while setting up a field hospital. But the main issue here is going to be how do you get Palestinians from Gaza, not just from the north to the south, but how do you get them to cross cross through the Rafah crossing to these field hospitals. Now, Turkey has said that they're hoping to set up these hospitals quickly, and they have received approval from the Egyptian government to do so. But again, the issue remains is on how Palestinian patients are going to be transported to those field hospitals. And both Turkey and the Palestinians are hoping that it will become sooner rather than later because of the healthcare system collapse in the Gaza Strip.
Okay, Hamda Salhout joining us there from occupied East Jerusalem. Thanks, Hamda. Now, music has been used around the world to raise awareness about the decades of Israeli occupation in
This guy's
Palestinian
mustache is
territory.
funny.
And none have done it better than musicians of Palestinian origin. Sam Levant is one such musician.
Watch
He's
this
using
guy's
his music
mustache.
to raise awareness about what's happening in Gaza. We'll talk to him shortly, but first, here's a snippet of his popular song from
Here's
Gaza.
a snippet of him stroking his stash.
All I know is to be Palestinian is to always rep where you come from. Except when you're in line at the customs.
Right there. Ah, that's so funny.
From Gaza with love. From Gaza with love. From Gaza with love, baby. فلسطين عسنسان وبنت بلادي عجبان فضلكم يحكوا مش سامع. Continuez à parler, on vous entend.
So weird.
Sam Levant joins us now live from
He looks
Los
like
Angeles.
Hassan.
Great to have you with us. It's a great song. It really shows your feelings.
He looks like
for
Hassan
Gaza.
Piker.
What are your feelings now when you see what's happening there?
Sabah al-khair. Thank you for having me. The feelings, I think, is a collective feeling, especially coming from the diaspora, a collective feeling of despair. We built a music studio in Gaza this year, and to receive WhatsApp messages of that studio being destroyed for no reason, pictures, having no communication with our friends and family back there, I think is a collective feeling of Palestinians abroad. And just truly, I mean, I think we've all seen videos of Mu'taz Azaizeh and Ahmed Hijazi and Bisan, just these heroes living in Palestine and in Gaza. Seeing these families, I think it was 2 days ago, families moving south. And you look at this, and sometimes as a Palestinian, I ask myself, how can the world sit and watch this happen? But it's quite simple, I think, because in order to watch this and be okay with it and to see ethnic cleansing live on Instagram, you need to think we are subhuman. And the West has been doing this tactic of demonization, of dehumanization for a very long time.
Right.
My mother is French Algerian, and the French and the Algerians, the collective demonization of Arabs and Palestinians in Western media for the past 70 years is what leads us to the Israeli defense minister, for example, calling us human savages. Ben Shapiro saying things like Israelis like to build and Arabs like to live in open sewage and bomb stuff. When you see this kind of language, it's very deliberate, and deliberate in a way that makes it so that Palestinians are subhuman, and Israelis are able to justify the oppression that we go through. So it's just very despairing.
And how do you use your music and the platform that you have to counter that portrayal?
I think once again, the dehumanization of Palestinians, the deliberate demonization and dehumanization, what I've seen is music is a way to put a face, and to tell the stories of people that cannot tell their stories. These kids that live in Gaza, the children that do not have names and faces and stories that are not being told. You look at the stories of the Israeli hostages on Western media, and you ask yourself, are we not worthy of the same coverage, of the same love and care? And it's just truly astounding.
You grew up
that
in
dude's
Gaza.
music video
What
is
are
so
your memories
crazy.
of the Gaza Strip?
I grew up in Gaza. I only have, I grew up by the
Oh,
sea.
that's hilarious.
I had memories of, going fishing. My father built a hotel called the Dira, which is still there to this day. And, scents, smells. You also, obviously, I don't know if you can hear it right now, there's airplanes going by. The sound of drones is one that is ingrained in my memory forever. And I think the sound of drones for any person living in Gaza is a core memory that these people live through. And,
And your hopes and dreams for the Palestinian people and for the people of Gaza in particular, what are they?
I think
he's wearing the stupidest shirt.
For the Palestinian people, when I say that we dream of a free Palestine, a liberated Palestine, and you know, just to bring it back before I head off, let's say you take out Hamas out of the equation, and you know, Israel does what supposedly it wants to do. Hamas no longer exists, etc. What do you call this place? This place is called the West Bank. The West Bank has over 500 checkpoints, Jewish-only roads. You know, Israeli settlers regularly go out and burn olive trees in masses. There's, I think, 500,000 of them there. So we dream of a free and liberated Palestine.
Sam Levant, really good to speak to you. Thanks very much for taking the time to join us here on Al Jazeera.
Well, thank you.
Still ahead, here on Al Jazeera, the UK Home Secretary Suella Braverman is sacked days after she accused police of favouring protesters supporting Palestine.
I eat ice cream to feel alive, especially because I am scared at night, crammed into a UN school in the dark.
I gotta use the bathroom, brother. I'll be right back.
And Gaza's last operating ice cream shop brings some joy to children in the middle of war.
All right, it looks like it's Bitcoin's kind of coming back up. I wanted to stay with you until it goes to 37.4, which I think it's going to do. But I'm going to go, guys. I will see you guys on the next show. Thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks to Pinoy. Thanks, everybody. Bye.